Giants jersey here.
Wear a Tigers one. That was really appropriate today, was it? That's okay. I love the NFL touch. It's lovely. You're an all-rounder. What socks you got on? Any specials?
Yeah, I've got some stance ones, but nothing.
Yeah, right. I got the LeBrons on. It's not really visible. No. I wear the LeBron socks 2-3 times a week without washing. I sit at a desk all day. I don't do anything. What's that? Oh, really? Far out. I wonder how much that's worth. Yeah. Are we live? Oh, good on him. So we're sitting here talking about the... Yeah, give me something.
And it's a very good afternoon officially to Glen Willow here in Mudgee. It's going to be an absolute beauty here. We've got both the 16s and 18s, of course, now known in the Country Rugby League as the Andrew Johns competition, of course, with the 16s and the 18s will be the Laurie Daley Shield. So looking forward to it. The Reston Rams up against the Penrith Panthers. My name is Nicholas Kutniak, and joining us today in commentary is Jake Humphries. And Jake, looking forward to what's going to be a great start to the CRL season.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is shaping as a very competitive game, and both of these teams look really switched on. I just had my eyes on them when they were at the back there warming up, and they obviously both really want to get the result today. And we're kind of hoping the rain stays away as well. It's looking a bit ominous, but yeah, you know, it'd be really horrible. Feels like it hasn't rained at Mudgee in 6 months, and for it to rain today would be a disaster. So we're hoping, for the sake of the game and our equipment, that the rain stays away.
Yeah, so we're on the second field here for these two games, with the main field getting ready for the Charity Shield match at 7:30, and looking forward to what shapes up to be a beauty between the St George Illawarra Dragons and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And I guess the talk of the town in the last week has been pretty much a Charity Shield match.
Oh, there's been a huge buzz around town, and especially with the Dragons being here since Wednesday night. I've really got to give credit to that entire team, really. Obviously, the Rabbitohs have been excellent as well in their own right, but the Dragons getting here on Wednesday night, they pretty much haven't stopped with their media and community activities. They've been at hospitals, they've been at pretty much every school in the region. They did 16 school visits in the lead-up to this weekend. So the Dragons have been great. Obviously, Souths have been good as well, and that's just added to the excitement. It's unprecedented, the excitement that we're seeing at Mudgee, you know, today, throughout the week. So let's hope the game lives up. And yeah, it's going to be excellent.
How important is the fact that not just the Charity Shield, but you've got a first grade game here later this year? How important is the fact of having these games maybe once or twice a year here at these sort of grounds?
Well, it's been happening obviously at Bathurst for the last few years with the Penrith Panthers, and I guess rugby league is already extremely strong in regional New South Wales, but you know, having these games out here is just spreading it, and I think that, you know, a lot of people say, and myself included, say that, you know, country rugby league is kind of, you know, excuse the cliche, but the grassroots, so to speak, of not only the NRL but rugby league in general. Like, it's very strong out here, and to have games brought out here to Bathurst and now to Mudgee with the Charity Shield and the game happening later in this year in May, it's kind of, if nothing else, paying homage to the country regions, giving them really a spectacle to look forward to every year, and just continually promotes rugby league. You know, we're trying to spread it as far as we can. So hopefully it keeps going inland and we keep getting more things happening in you know, regional New South Wales towns, and Mudgee's a great start for it to happen.
Absolutely, and of course we're about a month and a bit away before the Group 10 season kicking off as well, which I guess you'll be looking forward to covering again this year.
Yeah, I'm pumped about the Group 10 season. I'm only new at Mudgee, so this will be my first year covering the Group 10 officially, but I've been doing my homework on it. Obviously, the Mudgee first grade Dragons side has a premiership in their wake, and they're hoping to, you know, kind of find that kind of form again. But it's shaping up to be really competitive this year. We've got Josh Starling out at Oberon, and there's
Yeah.
Nick Sullivan at Orange. We've got big names kind of, peppered throughout the competition. So it's going to be a really good year for Group 10, I'd say.
Josh Starling should bring back the mullet he used to wear back in the day of the New South Wales Premiership competition, because he played for North Sydney back in the day. He was a very good player to watch, and as you said, a good acquisition for the club, and so many great sides. Like we talk about the Park Spacemen over the years, and you got the Orange Sims, the Bathurst Panthers, Forbes as well, and Lithgow's got their side too, and it's a fantastic competition. We look forward to what's happening there, while Penrith, of course, with the Penrith Panthers sort of link more so with the fact that you've got the Harold Matson SG Ball, which have gone on today, and Penrith's won both of those games against Parramatta in round 3 of the competition. They've had a great season so far, both the 16s and 18s in that competition, and the fact that they've got the New South Wales Cup, the Jersey Flag now, which is a great competition. It's great that they've brought back the 20s to a state-based competition, and then you've also got the Penrith A-grade comp and the whole Penrith Junior Rugby League, and it's a sensational competition. And you look at some of the names that play in those comps and the kids that are growing up. Like today we've got an 18s match, the Laurie Daley Shield match, where we get to see the name Maverick Guy play, and we've heard a lot of great things about the young guys over the years. Logan Guy played a couple of years ago at the Windsor Wolves in the Ron Massey Cup and Sydney Shield, and as I said, Maverick Guy's another one which has got a lot of talks and raps about him, and it's great to see those sort of names in the second generation coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's Maverick Guy directly related to? Mark?
Mark.
Son?
Yep,
There
son
we
of
go.
Mark. Of course, in Sydney, we have a fair bit of listening to Triple M in Sydney, where Mark Guy does work at, and
So
you
he's surely
pretty much know the
mentioning
whole
his son
family.
from
Yeah,
time to time.
yeah.
Yeah, well, Penrith has never had an issue bringing up guns, really, if you think about it. So I'm not surprised that it's a pretty star-studded team today, and you've got the likes of Guy in there. What do we got? Luke Jennings. I don't imagine he's related to anyone.
He may be, but the Jennings name is outstanding in the Penrith area. As we see the Penrith Panthers make their way onto the field, of course, with the referee in charge of Michael Booth, the touch judges of Peter Evans and Hayden Doty. That is the referees of the officials for today's match, the first one on the cards, which is the Andrew Johns Shield. Andrew Johns Shield. Just named recently on Tuesday, the official announcement as the Western Rams make their way out onto the field. And our major sponsors for the Country Rugby League are SLE Worldwide Australia, as well as Anytime Fitness, Bar TV Sports, and Victor Sports as well. As we see both sides in the huddle, the Panthers coming towards the right of your television screens as the handshakes placed before the game, which is great to see here at Glen Willow. So expecting a big game. I think with the way this works, this Penrith side, with the 15s, this is a development side in a sense for their Harold Matthews side, which is the 16s in the New South Wales Rugby League competition. So it's a great development getting these 15s in, and the Western Rams a great side across the Group 10 competition. So looking forward to this. Have you got a tip in this one, Jake?
I don't. I really don't. This is going to be a good yardstick, obviously, for the Western boys, because I expect this Penrith side to be strong. But no, I'll sit on the fence here. I might get you a tip for the next game. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm probably leaning towards this Western Rams side, as we're about to have kickoff with Bailey Lowe to start things here on Country Rugby League's opening day of the Andrew Johns Shield, and we are underway. The ball bounces towards the 20, and it's picked up by the Rams, and they charge down this left-hand side, and a strong run too. They put down the tackle, so the Rams will be looking to make metres in the early stages of this game, as the ball out to the right side by Griffith, and they go forward. Good tackle made, and they held 17 out from halfway. This is Sullivan who plays the ball. From acting half is Dominello, and down that left-hand side, put down the tackle being Martin. 5 out from halfway here in the first set. They come back towards the centre. This is in Thomas Phillips. 3 out from halfway here, as now they come towards the right-hand side. Here's the kick downfield by the halfback in Griffin. Ball bounces towards the end goal. Sits up. The fullback has to kick it away. He has. It'll be a line dropout. 0 here in the early stages.
That's pretty well the second best result you can get from an opening set. Find a try. That was outstanding. Kick on the fourth, I believe, as well. So Obviously, when you do kick it on the fourth, it does get a bit easier to find open space, considering the fullback isn't certain on a kick from his opposition, and that was a really good one.
So the
screaming in there.
line dropout goes towards the 40 as they come towards the centre of the field, and the big run made by Thomas Phillips. So now they come towards the right-hand side. This is in Griffith, who gets it away now. A good tackle made at the end here. And they'll be cut down the tackle about 29 metres away. The Rams on the attack. This is Dominello. Goes down the left-hand side to Smith. And Smith looking to try to get the pass away, but will be put down the tackle about 22 metres out. Again, Dominello gets it out to Griffith, who gets it wider to the left-hand side. Strong defence by this Penrith Panthers side. As now the Rams go back to the open right. This is in Griffith, who gets it away. Up the middle goes Holman. Put down the tackle 15 metres out. The last play is now the ball out to the right side by Dominello. Now to 5'8" from Griffith, trying to get it away, or Lawson, I should say. The kick through at the end, bounces towards the end goal. The Panthers pick it up. Put down 2 metres out from their own line. They come to the right side here.
Probably didn't throw a truckload at them there in that set, but it is early in the game, so this Panthers defence is going to be quite fresh, and it was well cleaned up there by Cole King at the back. That's a lot harder than it looks there, so we did well.
Cole King, of course, from the St Clair Comets Club in the Penrith Junior Rugby League competition. The biggest junior bases, of course, as there's the first penalty of the game.
Yeah, you probably don't need that. Marlon Pollock, I think it was, there with a bit of ill discipline coming in with that swinging arm. He made a good tackle, but probably that extra attention probably wasn't warranted, as they'll tap the ball here.
So they tap and run here, the Penrith Panthers. Good tackle made here. And Tapai held up 12 out from halfway as they just charge up the middle here, the Panthers. Another strong run too. Let's see what they can do here on this set of 6 as they come back to the right side. A good run here by Len. Glenmore Park Brumbies. And he's put down 8 metres inside halfway. So to the right-hand side they come again here, the Panthers. Charge into the middle. And the tackle made, and the penalty has been called. Tackle on Whitehouse. And that's back-to-back penalties for the Penrith Panthers, and they'll be deep inside field territory.
And we'll get to see both sides really have a crack at the red zone in the opening 5 minutes as the touch finder goes off the left boot down here. So they're going to be very close to the Panthers, and we'll see what they have to throw at them after holding out the Rams a couple of minutes ago.
Kids of the Super League generation, because not many call it the red zone. I still do from time to time, as now we see Lachlan Whitehouse put down the tackle 15 metres out. Panthers on the charge here. They have lost the ball in the process, and they're 10 metres out, and it's something that you don't need, especially when you're deep in attack, and the Panthers were looking likely to score the first points.
Yeah, they were. It's unfortunate, but they rolled forward quite well, obviously with the help of a couple of penalties. But both sides are playing very physically here. They're really getting stuck into it. So I'm thinking this is probably. Hopefully this pace keeps up, and hopefully these boys keep getting stuck into each other. Just on the red zone there, NFL season just finished. So that's what's behind that little habit there. So I'll try to sharpen that up.
No, you're right. You're right, of course. I'm still used to calling it the Super League red zone back in the day, 21 years ago, and I still remember it as Mason Pollock put down the tackle. Mason Pollock, of course, from the Orange Bloomfield Club, as they come to the right side here. The Rams once more. Good conditions here at Glen Willow at the moment. It's a warmish day, but the wind's coming through from the left of your television monitor to the right. If you've got the stream up, of course, on your television at home. As now the Rams go over the 30-metre mark. And eventually, good tackle made by the Panthers in the fence over the top. And the tackle is Tupai. As now they go left, Dominello. Long pass out the end by Lawson. Griffith was able to get the ball out, and eventually they'll be cut down the tackle. 12 out from halfway here. As now the Rams, with Griffith with the ball now on the last tackle, runs, dummies, goes over halfway to the 40, dummies once again. Oh, great tackle, but he got the pass away quickly to Nunn, and he's in to score the first try of the game. Nunn's in on the left-hand side, and I tell you now, the break was amazing at the end there by Noah Griffith, who dummied about 2-3 times, then got the pass away just before he was tackled. And a try there by Nunn, and it's 4-0 the kick to come, the Western Rams lead.
That was all Noah Griffith, wasn't it? That was outstanding. I think it's probably underutilised, at least in the NRL, you know, shaping to kick and then throwing a dummy or two. There's often a lot of space, and he kind of exploited that there. That was excellent, really good. He's been, you know, his fingerprints have been all over the first 5-10 minutes for the Rams side, so he's well involved.
And you got to feel a little bit for that Panther that made the tackle, because it was a bone rattler, but just before the tackle was made, the pass to the left was just amazing. So that's the first try of the game, and the kick to come about 20 metres out here. So the Rams lead in the early stages of this game, the Andrew Johns Shield. The 2018 Country Rugby League Championship, sponsored by SLE Worldwide Australia, the major sponsor, Anytime Fitness, Bar TV Sports, and Vector Sports. As here's the shot at goal. Left boot strikes it, and he's got it over here, Tyler Colley. And it's 6-0 here at Glen Willow. It is the Western Rams leading.
So Noah Griffith is the Aussie Schoolboys under-15s captain. So I take it that he's going to be one to keep an eye on for pretty well this entire match.
Just that speed was amazing. It was about a 30-metre break, and he was able to step on to the high gear, and that's what you want. As we come back to halfway here at Glen Willow, here's the restart by the 5/8 in Bailey Low. Ball bounces towards the 10-metre zone. Strong defence here by the Panthers on the Rams. As now Dominello goes to the right, short pass. Panthers defence swarming in. You can hear the referee in the background, Dominello from acting half to the right. Put down the tackles, Marlon Pollock. 15 out from halfway. Back to the right-hand side here once more. This is Charlie Holman. Put down 10 out from halfway. Dominello, as they go wide to the right. This is in Mason Pollock. He tries to go back on the inside. And he's put down 3 out from halfway. One of the players look to be injured here. There's the infringement, but the penalty has been called.
I wasn't too sure what happened in that one. It looked looked probably like a bit of a lazy play, the ball, but obviously the touch judge has deemed there was a bit of contact on the ball there.
Ao Wapau does not look good, the second rower. And he's got his hand up saying, I think I need to come off. The shoulder's dangling on the right side. I think in that tackle that was made, and his day might be done. He's really clutching at that shoulder.
It's kind of just hanging down there, isn't it?
Yeah. So hopefully he'll be right. As the Rams now go to the left-hand side. Marlon Pollock once more, put down 15 away. Dominello. Numbers on the left here for the Rams. Griffith. Again, pass on the inside. This is in Crisp. Going close to the line here. And charging here was Phillips, in fact, and he's close. But he's held up by a metre. Now Dominello. Griffith. Pass away was nice. They're charging close here to Rams. Again, cut down 2 metres out. Dominello. Short side. Griffith. Dummies. Goes on the inside. Charging towards the line. Gets the backdoor pass away. The referee didn't call held. Good work here by the Rams. Trying to get the pass to the right, but it's been dropped in the process by Noah Ryan. And it will be a Panthers ball.
So we've got Thomas Phillips. He's crook in the background there or in the back play rather, for the Rams. So a couple of bruised bodies early on. He's going to go down. Hopefully he's all good.
That's another play on the ground here.
Thomas Phillips it is.
So we're about to see one of the trainers come up. As we said before, one of the Panthers players before, Ao Wapau, did not look good. The shoulder dangling before. He's still out in the field here. I'll keep you monitored on him. He's been pushed out towards the centre position too. So Glen Willow a massive day here in Mudgee with the two Country Rugby League matches. Of course, the Andrew Johns Shield, followed by the Laurie Daley Shield, or Cup. And then you've got the game at 5:30, which you'll be covering as well. And then the big one at 7:30, the Charity Shield, which will be a big game between the St. George Illawarra Dragons and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. As we see and come off the field for the Rams after being taken that tackle there, Thomas Phillips.
Just making his way off the field here now, so...
That was a good run, Jake, wasn't it, by him?
It was. He got really close. It's hard to tell from our vantage point whether he was over the line or not, but he took a lot of stopping. So it looked like for a moment he'd crossed, but instead he's found himself injured, so hopefully he'll recover pretty quickly.
So the Panthers now have possession here at Glen Willow. If you just joined us, it's 6-0 in this one. As now the Panthers fling the ball out to the left-hand side. Numbers this way, and this is in Lapea. And Lapea has put down the tackle. 12 out from halfway. Now King goes to the right. Pass away there by Lowe. And now going up the middle here is Arken from the Windsor Wolves Club, and he's put down 10 out from halfway. The Panthers now come to the right. Pass on the inside was good. They charge up the middle here towards the 40. The ball has been dropped in the process, and he tried to hold on to it. Larry Arken couldn't, and it will be a Rams ball. In fact, it may have been here Byron Aolopeta.
What are we going to go with? I'd say Alua Pataya.
Yep.
Alua Pataya.
You're right.
It is difficult, so we apologise to you, sir, if we mess this up from time to time, but...
On my way up here, of course, to Mudgee, I hope I get the pronunciation of the suburb correctly as they go to the left-hand side. Carpentry, where there's a big South Sydney sign at one of the garage stations.
Oh, gosh, I'm not familiar enough with the area, unfortunately, so you're on your own there, I think.
As you're heading on the Castlereagh Highway, which is a great road, and good to see the South Sydney supporters here, and the St. George Illawarra supporters as well, as Mason Pollock runs the ball up and he's put down the tackle. Now we see Griffith getting the ball away. Harry Sullivan having a hit up. Put down 25 metres out. Numbers on the right. Seeing here to lock in Jake Smith. Charging. Jack Smith goes back left-hand side. Pass away is nice by Martin. On the left-hand side, eventually they're held up here. That is in Noah Ryan. On the last play, back to the right. Griffith puts the kick through. Picked up by the Panthers, and they'll have the ball 9 metres out from their own line. The score remains 6-0.
Credit goes to the Panthers there. They've been doing pretty well in defence, and they're really going to want to get a set completed here and probably a ball into touch, some sort of break in play, because they're really under the pump here. But they're doing well scrambling from a defensive standpoint, so they'd like to get well out of their own end here, but it's looking tough at the moment. Only made 10 odd metres at this point.
Country Rugby League competition, of course, the Andrew Johns Cup. And as now we see the Panthers run the ball up and they're put down in the tackle. So now coming back to the left here. Good run once again here by Teague. He's put down the tackle. On the last play, back to the left-hand side. The kick downfield. Goes up to the 40. Good mark at the end by Collie. Collie up towards the halfway. He's put down by the defence, and before he was injured, Byron, but he looks good at the moment. He's back into the defence and hoping he can have a good game here. There's a good tackle made once again here. It looked like Crisp as he plays the ball. They come back to the left-hand side. Pollock, that's Mason, put down 40 metres away.
He's battling, isn't he, Byron?
As the referee will call a infringement on the play the ball.
That's going to be a knock-on, I think.
Well, he's made the call at the ends. I don't think he may have got the foot on the ball anyway, but either call at the ends will see an infringement and the Panthers ball on the 40.
Well, that's one penalty and one knock on now, and two Dicey looking play the ball, so it's probably fair.
And that's the thing as well, of course, the crackdown on the play balls, which is great to see that they are cracking down on it on all grades. Having watched a couple of the SG Ball and Harold Matthews matches this season, they've been making sure they make the call, which is great to see in all levels of rugby league. As now we see Lowe up on the halfway, put down the tackle. 20 metres in from the broadcast touchline of Glen Willow. As they come up the middle once more. Put down 45 outs. So it's the centre of the field they come again here. Tackle made on Teague from the Hawkesbury City Rugby League Club. Now once more Lowe puts the kick through. They're chasing after it here, picked up by Colley, the fullback. Charges off one, and he's put down about 3 metres out from his own line.
That's a good finish to the set for the Panthers. They need to play a bit of footy down this end, and that's what they're probably looking to do for the next few minutes to try to relieve themselves a little bit. So we'll see if they can muscle up in defence, just like what the Rams have been doing to them a little bit recently.
The Rams are charging forward now and put down 20 metres out from their own line. As they come down the right-hand side again here, and Pollock put down the tackle by King. Good tackle there by King too. As once more they come back out to the left-hand side. Griffith gets it away. Good work here by Martin with the run. Now they go down this left-hand side, back to Griffith. Now flings it out to the left, and back on the inside we see Martin. Martin eventually put down the tackle. Last play, back to the right-hand side. Holding the ball up before being smashed in the tackle is Lawson. And there will be the changeover. 6-0, the Rams lead this one.
They're just hanging on, aren't they, the Panthers? That was some impressive razzle-dazzle stuff there, though, from the Rams. They probably got about 3 or 4 offloads away in that passage of play, and I'd say the Panthers will be sucking them in at the moment. You can see a few of them looking a little bit tired, but they're probably doing well to only be down 6 at this stage, considering they've repelled the Rams probably about 4 or 5 times in the opening stages. So, again, it's going to be crucial for them to march out of their own end and hopefully complete the set. But it has been a very fast game so far, and it looks like it's taking a bit of a toll on some of these players out there.
So the Panthers now come down the left-hand side. You have Glen Willow, the voice of Jake Humphreys, alongside myself, Nicholas Kutniak, calling the action here. Country Rugby League Championships. The Andrew Johns Cup. As there's the penalty.
They needed that.
Much needed. And they'll opt to tap here.
It's probably not a sure thing, that touch finder, given the wind for the people watching at home. It is really blowing here, so, you know, sometimes it is better to just take the tap and keep going, and they're rolling here.
As now the Panthers come back towards the centre of the field. Over halfway. Good tackle made at the ends on Tupai. Now up the middle was Bailey Lowe. 35 metres out. Right side they come again. Long ball out here by Knights. Stepping down the right side is English. Down 30 metres out. Back to the left-hand side of the Panthers. Good work here by Knight to get it on. Finding here Whitehouse from the Lower Blue Mountains team. As now again, they come short side. Knight gets it away. Numbers, pass on the inside was nice. English is charging. And we'll see a Rams ball. Couldn't do much with that play. And the changeover, seeing the Rams have it.
Again, though, not a bad place to start a set from a defensive standpoint.
Now the Rams have it. Good side here. I've been impressed with, especially Noah Griffith, who we've mentioned. Ty Colley from the back has been very good. Dominello, the hooker.
And Marlon Colley's probably had half a dozen hit-ups already. He's been super involved.
And
Marlon getting
Pollock
a drink at the moment.
Has been very good. Both Pollocks, in fact. The centre on the right-hand side, Mason, has been terrific. As now back to the open left here, Collis goes. The kick downfield. This is going to bounce a couple of times here for King. Down the right, and King's put down the tackle.
It's a flop.
There's the penalty called.
There's been a few of them, to be fair, and I'd say all the way up to the NRL level, players get away with flops quite a lot. So it's good to see the head referee there, Michael Booth, cracking down on that one because it was pretty obvious.
Kick towards the far touchline. Glen Willow Sporting Complex today, seeing a fantastic day, and making my way across to the Central West and seeing the South Sydney and St George Illawarra supporters has been amazing. As they come towards the left-hand side here, the Panthers. Again, Paulie Tupai put down the tackle. 7 out from halfway. The Panthers looking to muster forward. Ball is played here by Arken. And again here, Bailey Lowe goes to the left and he's put down. To the right we come again here for the Penrith Panthers. As the last tackle's called, Paulie plays it. Back to the left, here's the kick by Knight. It's Grubbin. It's picked up on the bounce here by the centre three-quarter in Lupo.
6 more.
And 6 again, touching the Rams as now they come back to the right. This is in Newfie. And Newfie's put down the tackle. Spacey on the open right once again here for the Panthers. And eventually Tofalau is put down millimetres out. They go open right. Low, Knights, short ball. Trying to cut back on the inside, but they can't. Numbers again here on the left. They go short right. Knight back on the inside. Cut down by a couple of defenders for the Rams. Here's Lowe. Stepping on the inside. Put down by Griffith and co. Last tackle. Short side they come again. Rolled through by Knight. Too deep. 20-metre optional restart. 6-0 here, and the Panthers, well, they tried to get on the board for the first time, but the Rams' defence was really good. Griffith made a great tackle before, but their defence has been amazing.
It was good. I'd say the ball, I think, died in the hands of both halves for the Panthers on 2 occasions in that set, and whether that's just a testament to the Rams' play shutting down those runners, or whether or not they probably kept the ball a bit longer than what they would have liked to have done. But either way, they probably didn't look overly threatening there, and that's what the Rams are looking like right now as they cross the 40-metre line. 2 tackles gone.
So 7 out from halfway here. Pass to the right side here. Jack Smith runs it up. Collis to the left. Here's Marlon Pollock.
He goes again.
He's been a machine. 40 metres away here. And good run there by Collis. He's put down 20 metres out. Griffith goes left-hand side. Kick through there by Colley. And it's been picked up the end here by the Rams. And it will be 6 again, as it's called. So the Rams are about 3 metres away. They're rushing up the Panthers as the referee calls their penalty now.
It's not a bad result at all, really, for the Panthers. Get that extra breather.
So what will the Rams do here on this set? Numbers here on the open right. They go up the centre through Blake Martin. Collis once more from acting half. Right side Griffith gets the ball away. Sullivan charging, loses the ball. It's picked up by the Panthers. Good tackle made on Larry Arken.
The opportunity blown there, obviously, on the second tackle. They'll be pretty upset with that, the Rams, and here come the Panthers again out of their own end. They're doing really well, the Panthers. They probably haven't had the rub of the field position so far, and to be down 6-0, they'd be stoked with that, and here they come again.
So they come towards the centre of the field here. Country Rugby League Championships, the Andrew Johns Cup, the first game for broadcast today. And I can tell you 6-0 is the score here. in this one. The Western Rams scoring the first try. We've had about 26 minutes of play. As now the referee here, what's the call going to be? Yeah, it's a lost ball. And they can't believe it here. Teague is trying to remonstrate, but the referee makes his call. And the best thing to do is just to agree with the call at the ends and just get on with the game.
He was trying to, I think he was trying to break free, swinging his upper body around to get out of that tackle, and in the process of that, the ball kind of went flying. Whether there was a hand in there or not, it wasn't obvious. But they will be under the pump again, the Panthers.
It will be indeed. 2018, the Andrew Johns Cup and the Laurie Daley Cup are sponsored by the SLE, Worldwide Australia. Major sponsors in 2018. Anytime Fitness, Bar TV Sports and Victor Sports. As here's the kick downfield by the Rams. Chasing back is Lowe. Lowe's going to be poleaxed away at the end by Tyler Colley. And it's going to be a line dropout. That is great defence by Tyler Colley. As the line dropout to be set here for the Panthers. So there is the long kick. And they go forward now here. They put down the tackle.
They're the starting hooker steaming one back off the dropout. I don't see that very often.
You don't know.
Whether he's obviously shifted to a different position now, but that looked interesting. The little fella.
Back to the right side, Sullivan. Dominello you're talking about, who played well in the opening passages of this, as Collis now goes to Griffith, and Griffith gets it away. This is Martin. Martin put down. The referee calls the penalty once more.
He's a battering ram, isn't he, Martin?
Yeah.
He's running that same line out there on the left, and to the Panthers' credit, they're getting two blokes on him pretty much every time he gets the ball, but you get the feeling it's only a matter of time before he pokes his nose through, and we'll see what they want to do here. They're going to keep the pressure on.
So back to the right-hand side once more, and who else but Harry Sullivan, who runs it up. He's over the line, and he's got the ball down the score. The second try of the game, Harry Sullivan is in. So 10-0 to score with 28 or so minutes gone.
Probably did feel like it was coming to an extent there. I guess that field position for the Rams kind of, you know, paid the, I guess eventually kept building up, and the Panthers, as you can see, one of the blokes is down there near the sticks lying on his back, and a lot of them do look pretty tired. But they're still right in this match, you know. All they need probably is for the field position to even out a little bit, and they'll be probably in a position. Hopefully, if they can snag some points before the end of the half, they'll be right back in the game. But probably, I'd say they're feeling like they're well behind at this point, which is why we've got the trainer coming out giving them some words of encouragement, and hopefully they'll be able to get themselves back into the contest. But they're definitely having a hard time at this point. I'd say with their discipline and their ball control, and the Rams probably just look a class above it at the moment, especially in the halves.
So the kick to come. Tyler Colley to take the strike. One from one so far. Tyler Colley. He moves in. Strikes it nicely, so 12-0, and it's half-time.
So there
Siren in the background. So half-time in the first game of the day here at Mudgee at the Glen Willow Sporting Complex. 12-0, and the Western Rams have been the better side.
They have been. Yeah, they have been the better side, and I think that's going to upset the Panthers quite a lot, if not the players, their coaches, because they probably would have thought a 6-0 deficit at the half would have been a win for them. But, you know, it's a commentator's cliche, and you so often see points put on the board in the last 5 minutes of each half. We hear it all the time, and the Rams found their way over the line then. So that 12-0 scoreline is probably a fair reflection of how the half unfolded. Yeah, and the Panthers do have quite a bit of work to do, but, you know, it's a 2-score game, so they'll fancy their chances to get back into it, but they do have to clean things up a little bit.
So half-time in the first game of the day, 12-0. The Western Rams lead this one. We'll break here at Glen Willow. We'll come back on the other side of this for the second half in the Andrew Johns Shield. the Country Rugby League Championships here on Facebook this afternoon. Don't forget you can be able to watch every game in full replay. If you missed a game live, you can watch it on the Country Rugby League website. Search the videos, so Country Rugby League on Facebook. So type in Country Rugby League or at CRL NSW. You'll be able to see all the games on the video. If you scroll down the Facebook page, you'll be able to see it. So all of them there. Some cracking matchups as well. And halftime in this one, it is 12-0 currently between the Western Rams and Penrith in what is really it's a weird way of saying it, but it's a local derby in a sense of there's a relationship with the Western Rams to the Panthers as Jake Humphries returns back into commentary. And myself, Nicholas Kutniak, and it's great to have that relationship to the Central West competition for the Panthers.
Yeah, it is, and I imagine probably a few of these guys out here are probably mates, probably know each other, probably brushed shoulders on the training paddock before.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far, and I'm probably I'm hoping to see the Panthers remain competitive. They've been very competitive, very fiery, but you get the feeling if they leak points early in this second half, the game might get away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I certainly think they're capable of getting back into it. And I guess I'm hoping for that to happen. We want to see close footy, don't we, mate? So I'm hoping the Panthers can, work their way back into the clash. But it's going to be difficult because the Rams have been very good. So I guess we'll see what happens here. So
the second half is underway with the kick from the Rams. It was marked nicely by 5'8" in Bailey Lowe, who's done a bit of work in this first half for the Penrith Panthers side. And before the break, he was smashed by Colley with a great tackle by Colley, the fullback for the Western Rams. As we said, the Panthers now run the ball forward. And that's Newfie who's put down the tackle on the St. Mary's side, of course, where the Penrith Panthers will play their matches in this competition at St. Mary's Stadium. Beautiful boutique ground. And now, Jake, you might not know the ground, but if I say Footy Legends, the movie, that was where the film was set at St. Mary's Stadium.
I haven't seen that in, that probably dropped about 10, 12 years
05 as they come down the left-hand side here to Penrith Panthers, and he slips into the tackles. A good run at the end.
This is what they need.
As now the ball is playing, they come back to the right. Here's Lowe, spreading it wide. And the Panthers will be put down the tackle. Inside the 20. On the last tackle, back to the left. Lowe got the pass away. And now Newfie trying to go forward at the end. The Rams will claim the ball. They'll be put down the tackle inside their own 10-metre zone.
Probably all he could do there, last tackle. He was going to die with the ball if he didn't fling it out the back there, so he obviously went for that offload, and now that's a costly one for the Panthers. Head-high tackle, according to the referee, and that's an easy way out of their own half here for the Rams.
So we're about to see the Rams take the penalty, and they will kick. The Panthers, when they were inside that territory, they opted in the first half to just tap and run. The Rams deciding the kick and using the breeze, I guess, they can have on that far side of the ground.
Probably depends on who you've got, finding touch for you as well. Mm-hmm. So players will tell you that some guys are better touch finders than others. So, it all depends on who's kicking for the line. But as I said, it's not a certainty, especially when the wind's blowing around like this.
So on halfway is where they'll be claimed. As Dominello got the pass away, and tackle made on Collis. Dominello, dummies. He's good from acting half. And you said before that run he made, he really is strong. As now Collis runs. He's put down the tackle about 25 metres out. The Rams in command here, 12-0 to score. Back to the left, here's Griffith. A kick. Bounces down, and King runs it up, and he's put down about 15 metres out from his own line.
It looks like the Rams have got two acting halves out there at the one time, and they're kind of taking turns of picking the ball up. It's really interesting. It'll be Dominello and Collis, and they both kind of trailed each other on that last play there, and it looks good for them, to be honest, and it's something that you don't see too often. Two, specialist acting halves on the field at the one time, and they're both kind of poking their nose in there when they want.
Which I don't mind the idea, to be truthful, because it just works, and I think you'd like to play a left and right sort of combination with it, as the Panthers will be put down about 7 out from halfway here as the whistle's been blown. So the whistle has been blown here. It'll be the Rams will have it now.
Hi, Michael. I'm your assistant, here to help you throughout your day. Here are some things that you can try saying to get started.
So we're about to see.
We've got a phone call up. The cameraman's got a phone call, and he's tried to shut it off. He's just thrown it on the grass.
Doing a fantastic
So the
job.
cameraman's lobbed his phone onto the grass.
Bar TV doing a fantastic job filming the action. And we'd also like to thank
He's doing a great job.
Victor
Doing his
Sports, Anytime Fitness, and a major sponsor in 2018, SLE Worldwide Australia, as they come back to the left-hand side. Tackle made on Ryan. As you can hear the referee in the background today, Michael Booth. Again, another solid hit. As Nanu scored the first try of the game. Plays it, they come right. Griffith got the pass away to Martin. Inside the 40, Martin put down the tackle. Now, Collis gets the pass to Dominello. Dominello out to the left. It's been intercepted by the Panthers. And Larry Ken put down on the 30. So the Panthers now have possession. Put down on this left-hand side. As now they opt to go back towards the centre. Good tackle made at the end on Newfie. Now again, they opt to go to this right-hand side of the Panthers. On halfway. And now Knights. Finds here low on the outside. Nice work. Cutting back on the inside was in Pritchard. Jessel Pritchard put down the tackle, 35 away. On the last play, this is English. Knight now kicks. Needs to be marked here on the left. Good take at the end here by Narn.
Oh, he had it. He secured it. Then he put it down, and he had to roll back over and fall onto the ball. So it was close to a blunder there, but they did well. And here they come.
I thought he was just going to hold that up, and then he just dropped it backwards, but it worked for him at the end, as he said, and they get the penalty now for the head-eye tackle.
Quick tap. No, they're not going to. He'll pull him back.
But you're right about that too, because I looked away for a moment, and you've gone, no, wait a minute, he's dropped it backwards, and I thought he was going to take the catch. But at the end, it wasn't the case. As this one is bouncing end over end and just goes out. It was a nice kick.
I'd say the Panthers probably normally would have had a winger back there, but they took that touch finder quickly and got it on probably 2 or 3 hops over the sideline. So worked out very well, and they'll go on the attack from over the halfway line here.
So now Dominello got the pass away. Now they come to the left. Dominello once more gets it out. Charging run at the end here by Hammer. 38 metres away. Collis. Griffith. Good outside pass. Jack Smith on the inside. Here's Colley. Step on the inside was nice against King, but he's put down 4 metres away. Collis. Back on the inside here is Noah Ryan. Put down on the 10. Collis once more. Long ball out by Griffith. Numbers out to the right. Eventually Pollock taken down. Now back to the right. Dominello pass away and the kick at the end by Lawson. Bounces down. And it's picked up nicely by the Panthers.
The Panthers are extremely game, aren't they? I mean, they're getting a lot thrown at them, and their commitment in defence is excellent. They're tackling in numbers, and they've saved themselves again. And they're sitting here 12 points down coming out of their own end, and they're really in this clash, and they're looking good. They're fit. They look like a fit bunch of players, the Panthers. I think it's a testament to their conditioning that they've been able to go through a couple of hardships in this game with back-to-back penalties and a few errors, and here they are on the front foot in the opening stages of the second half. One
thing to mention about the Panthers too is the academy that has been a godsend for the club. There's an interception at the end, and he just ran towards it. It was a great one at the end here for Jack Smith. It was a great effort at the end by Smith to get it, but I don't know why the pass was made there by Whitehouse. But anyway, they go back to the left. This is in Ryan. And the referee here calls the indiscretion, so the penalty called. I was just going to say the Panthers Academy is a godsend because the fact that you can have the training facilities like that, and the training at the Panthers is A-class, and especially with the heat that they're going to suffer during the summer as well as the Western Rams, you can see both sides are probably physically up to this, and 31 degrees or so here is like playing in 24 degrees for other teams.
Yeah, and you can tell from time to time each team has been a little bit tired, but they're recovering really quickly, and they've maintained a really fast pace throughout the game. So it's been really impressive from both these young sides.
Holman put down the tackle. Dominello. Griffith. Long pass out the end by Lawson. Numbers on the right. Chasing his colleague, but he'll be put down the tackle. He's chasing for the line on that occasion. Back to the left-hand side. Going forward here is in Pollock. Has he got over? No, he's held up here, Marlon Pollock. Again, it was strong defence by the Panthers, and they held out here. Jake Humphries, the score's still 12-0.
It is. But that remains to be seen whether that's going to stay the same because they're on the attack here.
Collie got the pass away and chasing towards the line there at the end was in Ryan, but he's going to be put down the tackle. It's the last play. Collie here from acting half. Back to the right. The kick towards the in goal there by Griffith has been taken nicely by the Panthers. And they're charging here and eventually put down the tackle.
It's probably about the third or fourth time one of these middle guys for Penrith has just been in the right place at the right time with one of these little grubbers that is popping up kind of in the middle of the defensive line. And they've had their eyes up and they've been able to snatch the ball out of the air and they go again. They defend again and they come out of their own. And again, the Panthers and the coach would have to be sitting there on the sideline thinking, please, 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 can we get through this set without some sort of error? Because they really need it.
So back to the left-hand side here. Just up the middle they go, and a big tackle made here on Teague. And he's put down 3 out from halfway. As now again, they go left-hand side. The quick kick there at the end by Lowe. They're chasing after it here. Can they keep the ball in the field of play? No. So the score here remains 12-0. They were really charging there. The kick was great, but he just couldn't keep it on the field of play on the left-hand side. Opportunity missed at the end, but still the score here, 12-0 the Rams lead. But the Panthers, if they can get the next try, I know it's easy to say, but the game is on.
Well, we've been harping on about it, myself in particular, because it really does feel like, they're one try away from being right back into it. And even at this stage, down 2 tries, they're not taking their foot off the pedal, the Panthers, in regards to the effort they're making on both sides of the ball, attacking and defensively. So there's no reason this game can't wind up 12 apiece. You know, they're really having a crack here, the Panthers. It's been good to watch. And, you know, not taking anything away from the Rams at all. They've been persistent. They've kept their foot on the pedal. But, you know, the Panthers are certainly up to it.
They are indeed, as they're put down on halfway. So Dominello to the right-hand side. Good run here by Jack Smith on the 40-metre mark. Dominello kicks from acting half. It's not a bad kick. Now King has to race back for it. The fence is there. He's popped the football out, but the Panthers will swarm onto it, which was a smart thing because if they didn't, the Rams score. So they rather give the penalty and defend on their own in goal.
Yeah, they would. That was going to be a try over in the corner if he didn't jump on that ball and concede the penalty. So his hands were pretty well tied in that situation. So yeah, he did what he needed to do, and another test on their own goal line.
It was Cody Crisp that came up, the winger, and it was a strong hit, and he put him into the next postcode. As the ball is played, they come back to the left-hand side. Holman charging for the line. Put down the tackle. So about 7 metres away. Dominello, long pass out to the left. Numbers here in the centre, and eventually put down is Marlon. Or Martin, I should say. It's now once more Dominello. Back to the right. Dummies goes himself. Is he over? He has put the ball down. It's a try. And the Rams lead 16-0. And again, that try is pretty much sealed here, I think, for the Rams now.
Well, yeah. You could probably say that. It's a long way. Look, it's a long way back for the Panthers at this stage, and you know, we want to see close games, but the Rams have absolutely earned the position they're at, and Josh Dominello is a very fitting candidate to score that vital try because he's been fantastic. He's a live wire, really,
Yeah.
and he looks like somebody who has a bright future, and that's probably largely due to the fact that he looks like he can play pretty well anywhere around the middle. He's been inacting half, and as we saw him steaming it back up off the dropout, so he's obviously got no lack of courage to mix it up with the big boys, despite his size. So, yeah, he's someone that has been very strong today, and as I said, a deserving candidate of that important try that now puts the Rams 16 points to the good, and we'll see if they can stretch that out to 18 here.
So the kick to come for Tyler Colley. The next game is the Laurie Daley Cup. Laurie Daley, who back in the headlines this week for the good reasons, as we know. The Big Sports Breakfast new co-host. As here's Colley. Left boot strikes it, and it's over to Black Dot. So now it's 18-0. Courtesy of SLE Worldwide Australia, the major sponsor of the Country Rugby League. Anytime Fitness, Bar TV Sports, and Victor Sports, the sponsors of this great competition, the Andrew Johns Cup. And the new name, of course, as I said, Tuesday when they made the announcement, and it was great to see Fox Sports broadcasting the whole press conference live. So it's great to see the sport getting the well-deserved coverage. Bush Rugby League at its best. As the Rams doing it nicely here.
They are, but if my judgment of the Panthers is accurate, they'll keep going. You know, they're probably a touch
big hit too.
Big hit. That's what I'm saying. They're so feisty, this Panthers side, and there is probably a bit of a discrepancy in ability in the halves. I'd say the Rams halves have been a touch better so far, but that's not stopping the Panthers from getting back up and going back at the same pace every defensive set, every time they've got the ball, as we see someone down injured. Who we got down there, mate?
So we've got a man on deck for the Panthers here. He's trying to get back up. Of course, he's back on the grass, so can't quite tell you who it is.
There was some solid contact in there.
It was solid. It was crisp, but that was the play for the Rams that ran up to the line with a big run.
He's in everything, isn't he?
He's a very good winger. And
he's got a good name as well. Cody Crisp. Does that not roll off the tongue well?
Terrific name, and he's very crisp with his pace. And
stop it.
Yeah, that's what makes it very easy. Yeah. As the player makes his way off the field here. And that will be his day done. The lock forward for the Panthers. So he makes his way off the field here in Aiden Len. So he's off the field for the Penrith Panthers. But this game, it is currently 18-0. On the top left-hand corner, you've got the timepiece on CRL's coverage of the championships for 2018. As now we see the Rams. Going down the left side, this lock forward again brings it up. He's put down in Jack Smith. So it's Dominello from acting half. Long pass to the right, and Griffith got it away. Back to the centre in Holman. He went back to the left here. And now they come back to the right. Long kick here by Griffith. It's been knocked on. I thought he may have been able to hold on to it, Kyle King, but he's dropped it. And the Rams will have the ball once again inside the red zone. And here's the opportunity they need here, the Rams, to go ahead, possibly 22-24-0.
He started well, King, you know, and to his credit, he's probably been a little bit unlucky. That wasn't an easy one, swirling around up there, but he looked very safe at the back in the early stages of the game. But probably the case is with himself and a lot of the Panthers players, I'd say they're probably getting a bit tired. You know, they've had to do a lot of defending, and you know, that's what happens. And here go the Rams again.
So now the scrum to be packed here at Glen Willow, left-hand side. And this is a good run too by the centre three-quarter in Mason Pollock, who's put down the tackle. So it's Colley again from acting half. He'll drift towards the right. Short ball there by Griffith. Found here the man in Blake Martin. Martin held up. Dominello. And the referee here's called a penalty against the Rams.
What was that for? I think, obviously, we can hear the referee to an extent, but I think he stepped off the mark.
Yep.
I think that's what he's done, and he told him he'd been doing it all day, the old classic. So, yeah, they needed that, the Panthers, and here they go again.
This is the question that we have raised a couple of times. This is the third time they've had a tap inside their red zone. Every time they've opted for the tap and not the kick for touch. And it's been interesting. It's probably been telling in a sense where they haven't been able to make the meters as they've been penalised now for the play the ball. He tried his best, but he couldn't get his feet onto it, Ben English.
I'll have plenty to work on after this game, the Panthers. I guess that is interesting, the point that you make about them continually denying the option to kick for touch, and it just must be a case of strategy. Obviously, they've had a chat before the game and decided that, especially if it's in towards the middle of the field, they'd just be better served tapping the ball. But it has hurt them because that's normally, 20 or so metres that you're getting off a touch finder. So it probably has hurt the Panthers, and the Rams have been kicking for touch all day and doing it well. And we just saw another sloppy play the ball from the Panthers, and it puts the Rams back on the attack. I'd say the Panthers have probably been their own worst enemy for a large part of this game.
Good tackle made at the ends on Marlon Pollock as they come back to the left-hand side. Smith gets it wider to the left, and charging forward here is in Ryan. And Ryan got the pass away to Nunn, and he's in. The referee here, he pointed to the spot.
Knock on.
No, he's called the knock on there. He was close, and from the angle here, it looked like he made, I thought he bobbled it over the line, and that was the case.
Well, he had to pick it up on the half volley, Nunn, because he got the offload from his centre. Was it Noah Ryan?
Yep.
And he actually wasn't able to get his hands on the full. He had to pick it up off the grass and finish it off. So that's a tough manoeuvre for the best wingers in the world. So it's,
So the Panthers now from the scrum, put down the tackle, big tackle made on Newfie. As they come back to the left-hand side, this is Tofalau. Plays it. And now they come back to the rights. Don't forget, 3:30 is the Laurie Daley Cup. It's the Western Rams and the Panthers in that one too. A couple of names you'll be interested to listen to. One of them in particular will be Gaia, in the name of Maverick, the son of Mark Gaia. And maybe Mark Gaia might be around somewhere, Big MG. He does like to support his sons. He does go to a lot of their games as they come back to the left. He's to kick downfield from Bailey Lowe. And the ball is picked up by Tyler Colley. And Colley's put down the tackle about 15 metres out from his own. And Jake Humphries, this Western Rams side have been impressive, but the Panthers, a few little things they need to work on, but you could see that they could be a side to be reckoned with once they fix up, I guess, a little bit of those defensive wobbles.
Yeah, it's just, look, they just probably need to tidy up a little bit overall, and you talk about the play the ball as the Rams work their way down this edge here, but you talk about the play the ball, the Panthers, and there's another flop. The ref will let this one go. But the Panthers, I'd say they've just been a bit sloppy, with the play the ball. There's probably been about 3 or 4 of them that have resulted in a knock-on. I'd say defensively, though, they've been very good. It's just been a case of they haven't had any ball in this second half to speak of.
It's been dropped by King. It's been picked up nicely at the end here by the Rams. They'll go to the line. This is Jaden Fisher who scores the try. And that is definitely the sealer for the Western Rams. That is a great try, and the score is 22-0.
Hopefully we get a few Panthers boys running over to King here and giving him a tap on the shoulder, because he has had a few towering kicks, and it's no easy task back there, especially when your whole team is quite tired. So it's unfortunate for King and the Panthers, but they go down 22-0, and you're probably seeing, I guess, the scoreboard shape to what it probably should be, to be fair, given the fact that the Rams have been going and going and going all afternoon. 4 tries. It's not really surprising that they've just scored their 4th one. So they've been a better side today, the Rams.
So about to see the kick here for the Western Rams will be Collie to strike this one. Glen Willow Sporting Complex. This is the number 2 ground, but fantastic ground to actually watch football from here at this venue. Of course, the home of the Mudgee Dragons as well. There's the kick to come. This will be Collie who will go for the strike. And he'll move in a moment. Silence here at Glen Willow as he wishes that one over and he gets it. So another try converted, 24-0 here at Glen Willow with the overcast conditions towards the far side. That's the other end of the ground on the television screen. And just hopefully it doesn't rain here. We see some blue skies around. But I think we're getting a little bit nervous here if it rains at some point in the afternoon.
Yeah, and you don't like to talk about the weather too much, but it's genuinely a case here where it has no idea what it's doing. Because sitting up here, it's a scorcher. It feels like it, but then you've got the wind and you've got, you know, a bit of... It's I don't know what's going on, but all I know is if it rains, I'm going to be upset.
Now
I think everyone will be.
We've probably got elevation of maybe 10 metres, right? And,
yeah, it'll touch us first.
But it's funny because as the Rams now go forward, and being serious, I don't know why, but even with a little bit of elevation, I always find it a little bit colder. Don't ask me why.
So we're at altitude, is that what you're saying?
Something like that.
So is the breathing going to be all right for us as the Rams punch down the left side? And here they go again.
I think it's all right as now they go down their line here. Good run at the end here by Ryan. Ryan now beats here King and then puts the kick ahead. Chasing after it's Nani. Kicks it first. It's come down here. The Rams have picked it up by Collie, but he knocked it on the first time. And the referee will call it back. But it was very close for the Western Rams to score another try.
That would have been a screamer. That would have been great. Now, one thing I want to touch on, and admittedly, I didn't know this piece of information when you brought it up to me. A lot of these Penrith players are a touch younger than their opposition.
So it's a 15s side and a 17 side for the Laurie Daley Cup. Now, the reason behind that is it's, in essence, sort of a feeder towards the Harold Matthews, which is the 16s comp in Sydney, and the 18s comp, which is the SG Ball. So it's a feeder side, but it's a great idea. And I was speaking to Sam Jones, who's associated with the Panthers junior reps, last week on the show I do in Sydney and also this morning. And I said to him, it's such a great idea for the club to actually have this angle of going to the bush and getting these players to develop against strong quality players in the Country Rugby League. And we're seeing that today as they spread the ball to the left, and this is King. He's been very unlucky today, I've got to say. A couple of drops that he'll be not happy with, but still, the Panthers now charge forward. And even he got stepped by the Rams, which was a beautiful raid down the left-hand side. As here come the Panthers once more. And a big tackle made at the end on Teague, on halfway. And another big hit there on Lowe.
He's been very involved today. Really low, brave. I've seen him struggling a bit out there. He's got some taping on the right knee, so hopefully he pulls up all right from this one as the Rams knock it on at the back there. It's probably a rare error for this second half, and you'd really like to see the Panthers put a bit of pressure on and hopefully cross the line for a try. We'll see what happens.
Not crisp on that occasion. And
here we go again.
Yeah, pretty much. Chris wasn't able to hold on to the ball, so it will be a Panthers ball inside the 20-metre zone here. Country Rugby League on Facebook. It is, just type in Country Rugby League or at CRNSW, and you'll be able to type away and enjoy what's happening as we're going to see the Panthers with the ball on the right-hand side. A good tackle made at the ends on the man in Bailey Lowe, who's been playing well as King. Once again goes up the middle. So now they're about 2-3 metres out on this right side. Short pass by Knight. They charge to the line, and the Panthers are in to score the try. It's Lachlan Whitehouse from the lower Blue Mountains who's in to score the try.
Excellent. Good stuff there from the Panthers. And the big fella crosses the line. And I don't know what he was doing out wide there. You reckon he was catching a breather and he just right place, right time?
Pretty much. And knowing the way I'm a big boy too, I'd be making sure I was on the wing as well, and he picked up that ball. It was a nice pass to the right, and he just crashed through to score a try, and congratulations too. So the Panthers are in for their first points.
Well, he was in a situation there where he probably would have been able to set his winger up for a try, and then he might have caught the ball and thought, oh, hang on, I'm not too used to a draw and pass situation down the flank, so I'll just crash over myself. And he did that. He got there pretty easily in the end, and we've got a tricky kick coming up now for Bailey Lowe. The wind has died off, though, in the last couple of minutes, so he's not going to have that affecting him. But even with that, it's still going to be a tough one.
So this is Bailey Lowe. I'll be a little bit quiet here because I have got a loud voice and I don't want to affect his kicking.
And the wind literally
He
picks
moves
up.
in. He goes left to right. It went wide, and it just went over the soccer goal post, so to speak, but missing the rugby league top of the post, so not getting the goal. And it's 24-4, so 20-point margin for the Rams, and a dual-purpose ground here at Glenwillow on number 2, which is great to see.
We put the commentator's curse on the wind then.
Yeah.
I did myself. I said it hadn't been going, hadn't been swirling for a couple of minutes, and as soon as he started his wind-up, a hurricane just came through. It was very hard.
Just around that 20-metre zone too.
Yeah, exactly where he was standing.
As we're about to see the restart here, as Naan was about to charge, but he wasn't ready to kick here, Collie. As the Panthers now have the ball and they run the ball back. The closing stages of this game, the Country Rugby League. Don't forget the major sponsors in 2018, SLE Worldwide Australia. As there's the siren as the Panthers lose the ball. It's picked up here by Griffith. The last rate here for the Rams. He sprints the ball out to the left-hand side. It was tapped up by Ryan. It went forward. Naan was trying to hold his hands out. If Ryan doesn't touch it, Naan's in the corner to score. But at the end, it's full time, and the Western Rams have won against the Penrith Panthers in Andrew Johns Cup action. Scoreline of 24-4. And Jake Humphries, a disappointing end for the Panthers, but in saying that, they got that try at the end, but a good game and a good experience for them against this Western Rams side, who, albeit probably 12 months older, and you could probably see that little gap
And
show today.
When you're talking about a 15-year-old versus a 16-year-old, there's often a big difference in size
Yeah,
as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, for the Panthers to walk out of this game, most of their guys, as you said, 12 or so months younger than their opposition. They lose 24 points to 4. It's not a close game, but that could have been a lot worse. And, and the Panthers in the second half they were brave throughout the entire game. And we'll talk about the Rams and the fact that they were good as well. But yeah, credit really does go to the Panthers, and they're able to cross the line pretty much it felt like their solitary chance in attacking position in the second half. They were able to score a try, but the Rams were very good. They were clinical, and it looked like they'd ran around in the training paddock a lot. Like their combinations were firing well. They were very impressive.
That is game one underway, or finish, I should say. And a great win by the Western Rams, 24-4. As I say, SLE Worldwide Australia, the major sponsor. Anytime Fitness, Bar TV Sports, and Victor Sports. So we thank them for their help in 2018 with the Country Rugby League Championships and the Andrew Johns Under-16s Cup. What we'll do right now, we'll break. On the other side of this, we've got a big game coming up in the Laurie Daley Cup when we see the Penrith Panthers take on the Western Rams. Jake Humphries will be in the chair to call play-by-play alongside myself, Nicholas Kutniak, here on Saturday Afternoon Rugby League on the Country Rugby League Facebook page.
know what they... Is this on now?
The second game is about to start.
Our cameraman couldn't believe how quickly the rollover was. We've had about 2 minutes here between drinks, and we're going back again with the under-18s here. Laurie Daley Cup action, if you missed out. The Western Rams under-16s team just beat the Panthers under-16s team 24-4. I'm Jake Humphries alongside Nick, who just did the play-by-play duties in the last game, but we'll be changing it up. Now, I've got to admit, I'm a pretty inexperienced play-by-play guy. Any pointers right off the bat?
Just make sure you get the names right. It's pretty easy.
Well, speaking about the names, we've had a couple of tricky ones, and we won't stay on this for long. But for the Penrith Panthers fullback, he's happy for us to call him X.
Yep.
And we're going to call the number 5 for the Penrith Panthers Jeffrey. We're just going to go with his first name because it saves us making idiots of ourselves.
We actually spoke to the boys, which are
nicely
spoken boys too, which is great to see. And some of them, of course, the Panthers, they go to various different schools in the west of Sydney, St Dom's, Patrician Brothers, Blacktown. So you've heard a couple of those if you watch your schoolboys comps over the years. So it'd be great to see how they go in the first set of 6.
And they shift it to the left now. They're going to play the ball about 40 metres away from the Rams goal line. It is the last tackle. Kick goes high. And it's going to be played up by Benjamin Glasheen there at the back. He fields it well, and it's going to be a penalty. And it's looking like someone was... It's looking like someone was taken away off the ball there, which is something that doesn't get penalised too often. But it's going to put the Panthers on the attack straight away.
Which is interesting when you think about it there, the penalty there, but the Panthers will be in good field territory, and let's see what they can do 10 metres away.
Eisenhuth, now he's going to play the ball pretty well under the sticks. It's going to be shifted out to the halfback here. Henderson, who flicks it on. And it's going to be another penalty. Shoulder charge this time around. So Panthers ahead 2-0 in the penalty count early on, and you'd imagine they just tap the ball and keep the pressure on here.
Yeah, Sublabham's run was not too bad. He got the pass from his halfback, and it was a great effort at the end, as we see now the Panthers come to the left.
Going very close there to the goal line now, directly underneath the goalposts. Panthers will flick it on to the left, the front rower. He'll go behind the lead runner, 5'8" to halfback there, and the fullback will get the ball back on the inside and go very close. That's X, a couple of metres away from the goal line. They're going to go back to centre field. And they're going to shift it back to the right-hand side. They've got numbers here. They need to go through the hands. And that's going to be a try in the corner.
No, he's just been touched out at the end.
The flag's gone up.
For Jeffrey, he really tried hard, Jeff. He went close to the line, but the flag just went up in the moment before. We got our touch judges of Connor Hibbert and Jack Greentree. But it was a great effort there. It was a pass from me centre three-quarter in Pereira across to Jeffrey, and at the end, Jeffrey just stepped out, only just, but the call was made, and nil all of a score in the early stages.
That looked really touch and go. I probably went off a little bit too early there, but you kind of back these wingers in more often than not in situations like that.
Oh, absolutely.
So, forgive me there, and the Rams are going to have the ball coming out of their own end through Luke Bain from the Bathurst Panthers. About 20 metres out now, and they're going to hit straight back in behind the markers there with David White. And they're going to be happy in the fact that they didn't concede points there. Mm-hmm. They had to defend back-to-back sets there. They got 2 penalties against them. And now they're back in the swing of things here. On the 40-metre line now, or just past it. And they're very vocal out there at this stage, the boys, as Luke Bain has another run. Crashing back up the middle. It's going to be the last tackle here, about 45 metres away from the Panthers' goal line, and they fling it back for a low bomb. And there was almost a communication error at the back, but it's fielded by X, I believe it is.
And that was a good effort at the end by him too, to take the mark, and let's see what the Panthers can do on this set of 6, of course. Look out for the second rower in Maverick Geyer, who's probably sitting towards the left of the acting half here, and has his first hit up now. Look at him go, and he's got the size of Mark. You can probably see the resemblance with the lengthiness or the lankiness, and it's great to see as the Panthers go up the middle once more.
It's Arken now with the ball, and he'll play it pretty much smack bang on the halfway line. The 5'8" shifts it out to Geyer. number 4's been very involved early on. It is Pereira. And that'll be a change over there. It was the last. So a pretty fast-paced, topsy-turvy kind of opening 5 or so minutes. And the Rams will find themselves with possession 38 as they look to work it towards the centre of the field.
Strong defence there again by the Panthers, and this Pereira looks to be a good player from the Windsor Wolves club in Sydney, and shows to be one of those great clubs to be a part of. The Windsor team has developed a lot of players over the years, as now we see the Western Rams go on the attack. Left-hand side they come again, and a bit of a high shot there that wasn't called.
Sublaban, that's a big hit from him. From a 5'8" to come out of the line and put on a shot like that, that's impressive, and he's going to get caught up in the ruck here a little bit. Play the ball clears, and the Rams will have it centre field. And the Panthers are muscling up here. They haven't gone too far since they started this set, the Rams, so they'll be looking to get a good kick away here. And that's Josh Board who punches it down. It goes past X, and he'll make his way back to it. And he looks like a bit of a live wire at the back here. So he gets brought down, 20 out from the Panthers line.
Yeah, good run there by Mr. X, really doing a fantastic job. And let's see what the Panthers can do again. And that's the big thing you need from a fullback that can do those kick returns, make 15 to 20 metres, and he did well on that occasion, as here's another penalty for the Panthers.
He does look very confident, and just before, when there was almost a communication error between the winger and X at the back there, it was good to see the fullback kind of say, hang on, no, I'll just jump in and take this. You know, he looks like a confident player, and he's going to be someone to keep an eye out for at the back there for the Panthers as they get, I think this is their 3rd penalty so far of the game, and they'll have it crossing halfway. Strong charge there. May from acting half. On to Eisenhuth. And he'll back his way to about 35 metres away from where they want to be. Ball travels down this right-hand side. Oh, it's a late give at the line to the prop. He's got the fullback to beat. And he won't be able to do it. He gets brought down by Glasheen and Board. And they're going to go for a quick play the ball here, and they do get a relatively quick one off. They're going to go blind side. X, he throws an intercept, and we've got a foot race on our hands. Down the sideline, I'm not sure if anyone's going to catch him. It is Isaacs, number 2, and he's away. He's probably going to get under the post here. He avoids the ankle tap. That's a full field try, and that might be the only 100-metre try we'll see all day. He took the ball, and he left everyone in his wake. It was really impressive. He showed good top-end speed there.
Dennis Spathis there to try scorer for the Rams, but it was Isaacs that was actually chasing for the Panthers. And it wasn't a bad chase. He nearly got him, but at the end, Spathis was away down this left-hand side, the edge. He opened up. He scores the try, so they are in for the first try of the game, the Western Rams. Like the Andrew Johns Cup match where they scored the first points, it was scored by the Rams, and they do that once again. So early stages, 4-0 here.
Under very different circumstances, that one's definitely against the run of play.
Oh,
the definition of against the run of play, 100-metre intercept try. I didn't know what to do with myself there when he jumped on that ball. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was a very instinctive play from him, Spathis, and he pretty well, once he got in the clear, it didn't really look like anyone was going to tow him down, and here he is walking back, and he's probably not even breathing too heavily after a 100-metre dash.
You mentioned one name before for the Panthers, Eisenhuth, coming from the Eisenhuth family that have knocked around, of course, the Tom Eisenhuths of the world have knocked around that great competition of the New South Wales Super Premiership, maybe a couple of NRL games, the Ron Massey Cup and Sydney Shield. The Eisenhuths are big around that Western Sydney area with the St Mary's side in the comp and the Wentworthville Magpies, and obviously the Panthers in reserve grade, as there's the strike, and the goal has been converted 6-0.
6-0 for the Panthers here on our Bar TV Sports broadcast.
Western Rams, quite rightfully so, but the Panthers logo at the back, of course. The Rams are leading 6-0 in this one.
Of course, yes.
You're right.
As I said, it was against the run of play. It came out of nowhere, so, you know, I'm going to have to adjust myself here.
No, you're right. The Panthers wearing those nice, I like the away jersey. That's
It's a good strip.
It's a great strip, of course, at the white sides, at the black in the middle, and the old bars, which we're used to back in the day, of course, the 90s jerseys. As the Rams will have the ball from the restart.
And they're going to charge it back here up to the 20-metre line. They're going to go down the blind side. Get a good 10-metre gain there, and they're probably going to look to roll forward as much as they can. It's a very slow play the ball happening here. Probably lucky to not get penalised there, the Panthers. That is a penalty right on cue there.
And that's the thing too, you can't afford to give away those penalties in that situation, and that's what the Rams have been good at in regards to making sure they can get in that position where they know the Panthers are going to force it, and then you get yourself in a position where you get the penalty, kick inside the territory, now you're 40 metres away, and now you've got another 6 tackles up your sleeve to do something, and they just charge up the middle now, and good run too by the centre 3-quarter and Brock Naden.
It was a good run by Naden. It's good to see a centre have one off the tap as they work to the centre of the field through David White, I believe it is, the big front rower. He's tackled by another front rower. And then a third front rower is going to get the ball. It's Nick Barlow barges down the middle of the park. Centre field, 10 metres out. They're going to flick it on to Harry Blake, who then goes on to Benjamin Glasheen, and he really took off with a head of steam there. He's looking quite dangerous down on that far side there. As the Rams are going to go very close, it is going to be the last tackle, so we'll see what kicking option they can produce here. It'll go back to Harry Blake, who puts a cross-field bomb over. And that one does hit the deck, and it looks like it's going to be a change over there. Knock-on is against the Rams, and the Panthers are off the hook. And they're high-fiving back there. They're happy with that defensive stand, and so they should be. And they'll have an opportunity to work the ball out of their own end.
Yeah, interesting one there too, because it was knocked at the end by both sides, but the first knock-on was made by the Western Rams. The Panthers, though, they'll be happy to have the ball now. They're down 6-0 here, but they've got the possession now, and we see big Maverick guy who's lost the ball in the process, picked up nicely by the Rams. The ball just dropped down on the carpet. It was picked up nicely, and now they'll have territory about 25 away.
Right back on the attack through Josh Board across to Mitch Collins. Mitch Collins has the orange helmet from Orange Sims, he is. And the acting half flicks it across there to Nick Barlow, who has another good run up the middle. He's been busy in the early stages. And they'll work at centre field here. Looks like they're going to try and ram their way over. It was a nice offload there. And it works its way onto the number 6 again, Harry Blake. And he does have a lot of room through the middle there. He'll go very close. The Panthers are scrambling here. It's in the hands of the halfback. He throws a bit of a speculator out there. It looked to have been touched by the Panthers winger. The Panthers winger, that would have been Flynn Isaacs. And in a situation like that, you're probably better off making a play at the ball if you think that the winger to your outside has your number, I suppose. It's better off batting it down and making a play at it there.
And don't forget, you can watch all the games on the CRL Facebook page. It's a great page, of course, with all the information during the week of the great competitions and everything the Country Rugby League does. The news articles from their website get posted on there as well, and you can watch every game on full replay on the video section.
So from the scrum, Brock Naden will have the first touch, and he'll be wrestled to the ground, and they're very close again, as they have been in recent times. The Rams side looking to get their second try. It is 6-0. As the acting half there probes through, and he flicks it off to the front rower, and he's going to cross over the line. That looks like a try to me to Nick Barlow. Probably deserved it too, Big Nick. He's had a couple of big runs up the centre of the field in the last 3 sets, and he was kind of right place, right time there, and on the receiving end of a bit of nifty work from the acting half, and the Rams will go up 10-0.
Pop down the left-hand side again, short ball, and he just charged forward through Barlow. He crashes over to score the try, and yeah, as you said, 10-0 to score, and it's similar circumstances really to the first game where the Rams have been in full control. And I guess it's easy to say disappointment of the Panthers side, but we've got to remember, this is the key thing. They're 16 to 17-year-olds. They're not 17 to 18-year-olds because of the way this has worked out. The Panthers used this competition as a development side for their 16s and 18s. Of course, the 18s in SG Ball and the Sydney Comp. And it's great, though, that there's a development system in place. And as you said before, a fantastic try. And don't forget, you can comment on the Facebook page. And one comment already. Good comment here. Great footage and commentary. Well done. Thank you to the CRL.
Thanks, mate. I'm working on it. It's my play-by-play debut, so I'm trying my best. If anyone on that stream would like to comment us the name of number 19 for the Western Rams, that'd be excellent, because we don't have him on our program, and he's all over the ball at the moment. So until someone lets us know, he's going to be number 19. because we don't have him, but he was the culprit of that last try through the middle of the ruck with that nice offload there to Nick Barlow.
Of course, in the 21st century, one of the big things is and I don't mind the idea of now we let go of the sheets of paper like the old days when you'd find about 50 sheets and everybody would have to fill out every name. Now it's all internet computer based, and now we don't have those carbon copies anymore, which might be a disbenefit for us, but in the process we don't have to worry about so much paperwork like the old days.
We don't, but we've had a name go missing. So
yeah.
So well, he's number 19 now, and he's doing a great job. And we've got Dennis Spathis, who was the try scorer, that 100-metre try early on, and he shows it on the inside, but keeps it to himself. As you can hear the referee booming in the middle of the field there, he'll play the ball. And the Rams work it down this right-hand flank. And that's Tyrone Harrison from Orange Sims, who he's crawled off the mark, which is what the referee's going to call. He'll get him to go back a couple of yards. Ball's played to number 19. Centre field now, and the Rams will drive it just short of the halfway line. It's the last tackle, so we'll see what they opt for here. And they won't opt for anything because it's been knocked on in the play the ball. And the Panthers are off the hook there. They really needed that, and they're going to be happy to go on the attack again. And it feels like they haven't really been on the attack since that length of the field try in the opening stages.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And again, they're going to reset now, and so we'll see what happens here with the scrum for the Panthers. And I know it's easy to say. I said in the first game, it's easy to say the Panthers need to be the next team to score, but just psychologically for the side, because really they haven't done anything wrong. It's just the Western Rams have pinned the Panthers inside their own 20-metre zone, and every single time when they've had possession of Rams inside that territory, they've been able to find a gap. So that's been the situation. This game is now a couple of pop passes, and here's the 5/8.
Sablaban. He steams onto the ball. He gets wrapped up 20 metres out from the try line. He'll play the ball to X, and he's going to go down the shorter side here to the front rower. We'll go with McGelly. And Guy's going to find himself at acting half. Flicks it back to Sablaban. Brody Henderson now throws a face ball into the centre. He's going to crush over the line. He probably was thinking about passing, but realised he didn't need to. And the Panthers will get a try on pretty well their second opportunity down there. 12 points to 4 with a kick to come.
Aria scoring the try down that left-hand side. Fantastic work by young Mason from the Brothers Club in Penrith, and a superb effort there going down the left-hand side. So there it is, 12-4 to score, and they really needed to score that try again. As I said, it's easy to say, but the way they were able to do it down the left-hand side, spreading it out, and he scores the try, and as I said, from the Brothers Club in the Penrith Junior Rugby League competition. And I might add as well, for them this year, good news about them going into the New South Wales Rugby League senior system, playing the A-grade comp, and it's a fantastic competition, the A-grade, and they've moved their way across now to the fantastic competition of the New South Wales Rugby League comps, as the kick is no good.
He didn't muck around with that kick. He put it on the tee, and he ran straight up to it. 12 points to 4, the Rams have the lead. And as you were saying before, it didn't feel like a case where the Panthers had kind of been walked over in the opening stages, and it did feel like that when they got their chance with the ball, they were going to be a good chance of scoring, and that's exactly what happened. So I feel like this game is going to be pretty close throughout. Hopefully it is, considering the last game wasn't as close as what we would have liked, but this Panthers team is certainly here to play and capable of scoring points, so we'll see what happens.
We have got viewers across the world, from Thailand and various places, enjoying the action either by the YouTube page or Facebook, where you'll be able to see all of the games in full replay.
And here go the Panthers. It is imperative to, you always hear the captains yelling you always hear the captains yelling out must complete after you score a try, and it's because it's so important to get to your kick after you do it. Otherwise, you're going to be relinquishing those points if you aren't able to hang on to the footy and get through your set. So the Panthers are looking to work through a set here, and they might even opt for an early kick, and they will. That's inside the 40, and it's going to roll down towards Glasheen. He's going to field it, and they'll end up 35 metres out from their own line. So good starting field position here for the Rams as they get towards centre field.
And strong defence again by the Panthers. You just see them, two people on the tackle, pushing them back. And that's a great effort. And with the margin now, 8 points, it's not too bad. they can work themselves in position as a good tackle made by Wyatt, the new player that's come on the field for the Panthers.
Going to go down this short side here. They've got some numbers, but they won't use them. Instead, they'll get a penalty. Referee's called a few blokes offside. And the Rams will go for a quick touch finder here, and they're going to put themselves in excellent attacking position, looking to build on the 8-point lead that they've got. And they will be about 35 metres away. It's going to be trying to identify who has the ball at the moment, but we do know it's number 19 in acting half. And he's going to flick it out to Luke Bain from the Bathurst Panthers club. He'll be centre field. Mitch Collins is going to be the recipient of that pass, and he flicks it inside. That was a nifty looking pass there. He's clearly a capable ball player, the big fella. And they're going to go for a short side raid here. And it looks like they're going to be held up over the line. He's very, very close. Cooper Martin from Forbes Magpies. And the second row is going to have a crack from dummy half Mitch Collins. Last tackle, he didn't get there, so they're going to have to flick it back to be in a better position to kick the ball. Josh Board toes the grubber in, and X is going to see this one over the dead ball line. Here's a question. Do we have 7 tackle sets?
So it's, I always say the 20-minute optional restart, but I do believe it is, I think it is 7 tackles for all games, though. I can't remember off the top of my head. We'll just see. The referee now. No, it's definitely now the first tackle. So no 7 tackles here in junior. No, there it is. Now I said hand go up. So it is 7 tackles. Yeah.
It's a knock on as well, I think.
Well, I thought the ball went loose backwards, but not the case. The referee makes the right call. The Rams will have the ball now about 45 metres out. So I didn't see the hand initially straight away to signify that it was a 7 tackle set. It is. So it's 7 tackles now. Obviously, from the 20-minute optional restart. Can you believe that game was maybe 5 years ago? Nearly 5 years after that infamous Cowboys-Sharks game back at the football stadium?
Yeah, that's. I'm a Sharks fan, so
Yeah.
at the time I obviously wasn't counting the tackle count.
Yeah,
but someone was.
Yeah, I was in the car listening to the comedy of it, but we see the Rams on the attack now. Let's see what they can do. Big charging run again here.
Colby Peckham, I think it is, number 16. It's going to go out here. They're going to turn it on the inside. Number 3 has the ball. He'll bounce around and he'll be brought down. Looks to get the arm free, but chooses to keep the ball. And they're going to go to the open side through the front rower, who's already got a try to his name, Nick Barlow. It is the last tackle here, so we'll see if they can keep this one from going dead. Josh Board with a big cutout pass to number 3. It bounced off his hands. That'll be ruled to have gone forward, and that'll be a changeover. So probably not a whole heap thrown at the Panthers there, but nevertheless, they did a good job of repelling the Rams, and they'll get the ball, and they'll be able to come out of their own end.
Martin couldn't do much on that occasion. He was trying to get the ball up from the air, but he couldn't at the end. And now we see the Panthers have it 20 metres out from their own line here. And let's see what they can do on this set of 6 that the ball is playing. And they come back to the short right.
Short right, and that's another knock on, and this is going to be play on if no one gets on it. No, it's gone backwards. The referee, well, no, now he's saying it's a knock on. So initially he was kind of waving that one off, but he might have got a pointer from his touchy, and that's bordering on unforgivable for the Panthers to turn it over again. And you've got to think that every time the Rams get a look in like this, each time's going to be more likely than the last as fatigue starts to set in and whatnot. So another defensive assignment here for the Panthers, and it's feeling a little bit like that under-16s game, to be honest, where they're kind of being asked to do a lot of defensive work early on as that scrum was deemed to have not been fed correctly, which happens so often, and I'm not really sure what constitutes an incorrectly fed scrum.
It makes it hard, though. You've got to make sure, well, technically it's supposed to go in the centre, but of course, with the modern game, it's a little bit different. Of course, now it's come out towards the lock more so, if anything, or the hooker, as now they're going back to the right side.
Colby Peckham, centre field. Big chance here. They flick it down the right-hand side. The 5'8" will have the ball, and he throws it to a steaming number 4, Brock Naden, who was handled well by the Panthers' defence. Playing the ball slowly. He might have got a bit winded there. They'll go back down the short side. The 5'8" Shapes looks to take the line on. Harry Blake, but he'll be handled by the Panthers defence. It is the last tackle. They're going to go down the short side again. Acting half puts the grubber in, and it looks like it's wound up in the hands of the Rams again.
Thanks, mate.
Deemed as a knock-on, I believe. First off, Panthers. It's looking like it's going to be Rams footy again. We'll wait and see where the scrum feed's going. But we've got a guy shaken up. Brock Naden, I believe it is. He took a really strong charge down that right-hand side and was met with equal strength. And I think he's just a bit winded, the big centre.
I was just going to say, how good is the Western Rams? They look after us. We've got some hot chips here in the broadcast booth.
Stop it. Far out.
I could be to school and have the chips while you're calling to play.
So we might have to... Do you reckon we'll have to turn the mic down while we're chewing? Because there's
Yes.
nothing worse than listening to a couple of blokes
Yeah, exactly.
munging into some chips. We don't want it to be too loud for you guys. But rest assured, we're being fed up here, in case you were wondering.
But the good thing is, this has been a really good battle. And the Panthers, their defence is starting to hold, which is good. But this is going to be the key now for the Rams. If they spread it down this left-hand side, and we know Spathis and Martin have both got pace, they've got to use them.
So they're going to shift it pretty well straight away. And the Panthers look to be onto this pretty well. And they're going to go to Spathis. Just when I said that, it looks like he's going to cross over in the corner.
He's just put that down.
Our vantage point isn't great from here. This corner, we have a little bit of an impairment. But Cooper Martin set that up really well. He looked to have been handled by his opposing centre, but at the last minute kind of popped it over the top. And Dennis Spathis, 2 tries. Two tries. He's a bulky winger, Spathis, and he did really well there to put that one down. But full credit goes to Cooper Martin. He was able to draw the winger in and kind of pop it over the top. That was excellent work from him.
Now, we'll have a listen to this, because let's see how good it is with the referees, Mike, coming through.
Okay, this is nothing, alright? I just don't need him reacting like that. We're football, pushing out after this try, okay? I don't need him to do that. Take control of him, and I will take over. We'll take control. He's very tired on this one.
So that's the 5/8 and the halfback they've spoken to for the Penrith Panthers. So both Henderson and Sublabin have been spoken to, which is good to see. As we have the kick here from this broadcast touch. And this will be taken here by Cooper Martin. Not a bad shot. It went under just, but not a bad effort considering the wind is howling through here at Glen Willow.
It is howling, and it put up a little bit short there. It is often hard to... I always remember growing up having shots at goal with your teammates playing in the under-12 settings, and it was never an issue of kicking the ball straight. It was just getting the legs there. So obviously he wasn't able to make it go over the post, but he shouldn't be too hard on himself because he was pretty well solely responsible for that last try. He did an excellent job. Cooper Martin, 16 points to 4, is it now?
Yeah, so it's going to be a hard effort now.
It will be.
But this Panthers side has shown they can stay in for the fight, so they're just going to make sure they sharpen their defence up and make sure their attack can get a couple of tries in.
They've got to get through some sets, just like what happened with the last Panthers side. Get through some sets, find touches as the Rams fail to get through a set there, and the Panthers are going to be immediately on the attack, and they're going to shift the ball, playing the advantage here. Sublaban gets tackled 25 metres away. Centre field would be huge if the Panthers were able to get a try here, as the acting half may. He's going to work his way to his feet for quite a slow play the ball. Number 17 is going to dart through the middle there. He'll be tackled. They're not throwing a whole lot at them, the Panthers, at the moment, but they'll look to set something up out wide here as the 5/8 hits a flat running number 11, Eisenhuth. He's brought down. It is the 4th tackle. Centre field. Number 15 probably wasn't expecting it there, and as a result, he throws the ball off the ground to Sublaban. And it's going to be the last tackle here, I believe. Can't see a signal from the referee yet, so we'll have to see if they put it on the toe. It goes to X.
Oh, good step.
Step off the right foot. Now it's the last tackle. And he'll play the ball. The kick is going to be coming. Looks to be a grubber to the post. Handled very well by Glasheen, I believe it was, the Western Rams fullback at the back. And they'll be out of trouble for the time being. They make their way down this short side through Cooper Martin, whose name we've called quite a bit so far.
Yep.
16 points to 4 in favour of the Western Rams here. And an absolute... He's just fired out of the line there, trying to put a shot on. I can't identify who it is at this point. Number 17.
And that's a great tackle
Falanico.
too. In fairness, Wyatt's pulled him down amazingly from the Minchinbury Jets. He played in the Harold Matts last year for the Penrith Panthers and goes to Pat's Blacktown as the Rams charge up to the halfway.
I'd like to give a shout out to SLE. We can't forget about our sponsors, Worldwide Australia, major sponsor. Also sponsored by Anytime Fitness and Victor Sports here on Bar TVs. The Panthers outside back traps it with his foot and runs back up to Cooper Martin. He'll try to roll over his stomach, onto his stomach to play the ball here. This game has slowed down a bit for the time being. It slows down until X gets the ball in his hands. And he shoots his way towards the centre of the field. Cops a bit of treatment with the forearms there, and he'll play the ball. The Panthers are back into the swing of things. One out off the ruck, which isn't too bad when you're just looking to get yourself back on your feet in a set of 6. And they're going to go again. And the meters are coming for them as they're 40 metres out from the Western Rams try line. Tackle number 4, I believe. Regardless, they'll be kicking it. It's going to go high. Off the boot of Henderson. It's fielded there at the back. There was a bit of screen work happening there from one of the backs, but the penalty is going to go against the Panthers. I believe those chases were offside there.
No, well, yes, it is going to be the case there. I thought initially he might have called the penalty against the Rams because you're not wrong there. It looked to be maybe a blocker or two, but he's pinged the Panthers, so now the Rams will get outside their red zone, go towards the 30-metre mark, or just actually more so near the 20, so not badly out of their red zone, really, when you think about it, because they're able to charge forward here, and let's see what they can do on this set.
It's not surprising there wasn't a penalty in that block situation there, because it's something that's happening in the NRL and has happened for the last couple of seasons, and it's effective. And while it's still legal and not being penalised, why not keep doing it?
Well, that's the thing. They've got to be looking at it because there's a lot of rules that now they've got to see if you keep them or not. You're right. The Panthers now win a ball from that spilt ball. But I find now this is where it's time when you look at the rule book and go, okay, what do we keep now for the modern game or what needs to go, because that was a part of the older style of rugby league.
Well, I think with those plays who are, it's almost like basketball. They're setting up a screen for someone who's coming through. And I think provided the back that's with the person who's going to catch the ball doesn't change his line, I think that's right to be let go. But when you see someone taking 2 or 3 steps to one side in order to block a person who's running through to contest the ball, those ones really shouldn't be let go. But not a heap went on back there, so obviously happy to see it go. And now the Panthers, they're on the attack. Been a bit of a sloppy start. I don't think the completion rates would have been up to the coach's expectations from either side at this point, but the Panthers will do their best to get some points on the board as big number 19 storms down the middle. And here they go in the hands of 17. Sub Laban will flick it out to his halfback, and a flat running number 3, Iaria. Ball will be played and sent back towards the centre of the field. Here comes the halfback, and he'll shape and he'll end up taking them on, and he gets handled pretty comfortably by a Western Rams defender. Fourth tackle, they're going to go down the short side. The second row puts it on the toe. This one may trickle dead. It does. And it will be 7 tackles for the Western Rams. They escape trouble there, and I guess the Panthers are probably looking, I won't say lost, but they haven't thrown a heap at the Rams when they've been down in their end, and that's something that might come throughout the game, but it's not too dissimilar to the last fixture where we saw probably a little bit more polish from the Rams side in important positions.
Creativity.
Yep.
That's the simple word that they're sort of maybe a little bit lost in that middle passage, and that might be hurting the Panthers side, but now we see the Rams on the attack. Under a minute and a half remaining in this one as we see a big run once more.
So we talk about those crucial periods just before the halftime break. We'll harp on about it because the Rams will, I don't know, they wouldn't know how long's left, but they're probably thinking, hang on, time could be winding out here. Let's try and get some points on the board. And it looks like they're going to go with a bit of a shift, forward to forward. 45 metres out from their own line as number 19 will pass it back. And they're kicking again inside the 40. And this This is going to be a little bit threatening down the sideline there. And if that finds touch, that's going to be a 40-20. And I'm not sure either Panthers player realises, but he was definitely inside his own 40. And I think it was Harry Blake from the Western Rams gets a 40-20. So now the Rams with, let's say, for about 40 seconds left, are going to have a real shot here.
Fantastic kick.
Great kick.
At the end of the day, he found territory and the wind's sort of pulling back.
The Panthers were sleeping on it. There was no urgency back there. Perhaps they didn't realise, and now it could come back to bite them. And this would be a really costly try to concede, but they won't be conceding anything because there's the halftime siren. So lucky for the Panthers, but it didn't look like they were aware that the 40-20 was on the cards there. But anyway.
So the halftime score sees the Western Rams lead this one 16-4. So that's the halftime score in this one on Saturday afternoon rugby league, the Country Rugby League. And I hope you are enjoying the action. The second half will be shortly here. And I hope you're enjoying the action. Bar TV Sports, Victor Sports, also the people at Anytime Fitness and SLE Worldwide Australia, the major sponsor of the Country Rugby League Championships. The Laurie Daley Cup will be back in a moment's time. We're back here at Glen Willow. Second half about the start here between the Panthers and the Western Rams. 16-4 the score. About ready to start the second half. Jake Humphries is in commentary, and he's about to kick us away for the second half.
We're kicking off. And it's the Panthers kicking off, down 16 points to 4, as Nick alluded to before. And it's going to be a tough kick-off to get a hold of for the Rams. Number 19 does so nicely, and they'll play the ball, and they'll go on the attack straight away. So they charge through the middle. Physical defence, and it's one thing neither Panthers side has lacked today is physicality. They've been very, very willing, very fiery in defence. And for the most part, I'd say, from our observations anyway, they've been very well conditioned, I'd say. But it's just about putting the finishing touches on some of these sets and maintaining a strong completion rate. And they haven't been able to do that yet, but we'll see if that can change in the second half. As Mitch Collins runs the ball, and a couple of the Panthers players are protesting for a knock-on to no avail. Ball goes back and ball goes high. We'll have a winger underneath it here. And he just let that one get away from him a little bit. And the referee pauses play, calls a knock-on.
Second half about the start here. There's the stream, of course, coming through loud and clear. Don't forget you can stream all of the action on Facebook and also on the YouTube page. Country Rugby League doing a fantastic job. And Bar TV with the vision, as we're about to see the scrum. But yeah, he tried to take the mark there, Jeffy, and he struggled there on that far right-hand side. We'll see the scrum packed here.
Well, he had it. It looks like it was going to go down and hit him on the chest, but then at the last minute it kind of swelled away, and now we've got a knock-on for the Rams. And
it is pushing and shoving here. They'll settle down on the moment as they get moved away. There's a bit of a push and shove still on here, and they can carry on. And now the fullback actually, I like it the way X, what he did, he actually came across to push his team back. So he went into the ring of fire, so to speak, and he's pushed him away. But we'll have a listen to the referees here.
Nothing there. And so he just retaliated with throwing the ball. Happy with the weight or anything like that. That's okay. We'll just have a scrum. Okay, we'll have problems there. Yep. Need you. And 3.
Okay, this will be interesting. He's going to call up the number 3.
Yeah.
So the captain's up, and now he's going to call here Naden.
Okay, I understand what happened there. Alright. What I don't need is you throwing that ball on the channel, okay? That's where it blows up. I need you to take control of it, or I will, okay? Need you two guys. Yep, we're all
now
good.
the Panthers will be called up here.
Okay, what I don't need from you guys is any of that stuff, okay? I understand the ball, alright? You gotta give them, take a little bit, okay? Yeah, take control of them, or I will. We don't want to go all day. We're going to have a scrum. Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? When you think about it there, the referee doing his job at the end, and now we'll see scrum packed down for the Panthers.
Well, nothing too major really happened there, but it's always important for the referee to kind of keep that kind of thing under wraps.
Absolutely.
As the Panthers charge out from their own line, bit of late footwork there from the ball carrier. The wind is really picking up here, probably at its fiercest point throughout the day. So the Panthers halfback will get a chance to take the line on, and he nearly lost control of the ball there, but he did well to hold it in as he was tackled there. Number 13 got called offside, and that's what happens. It's going to be a penalty, and it was Luke Bain. The Panthers are going to look for a quick one, but they'll just end up kicking for touch as they stare down the barrel of a 12-point deficit. And no, they're going to tap it. It's been a popular choice for the Panthers so far in both grades to tap the ball instead of go for touch. And we'll have Taylor May here enacting half. Number 11 charges centre field, gets hit very hard. That's Ryan Eisenhuth. You could hear the wind leave his body when he got hit there. It was strong contact, but he handled it well as the Panthers are shaping up their attacking structure down this right-hand side. Number 14 gets met well by the Rams defence, and it's holding quite strong here. The Panthers are throwing a bit at them so far, and they will end up about 10 metres out from the line. Tackle number 4, number 17 gets the ball, and he'll throw a nice little face ball at the line. Very close to the goal line now. The Panthers are. It is the last tackle, so we'll see what they've got up their sleeve for the 5th and final. Halfback gets the ball. He flicks it out very quickly to number 2, and he's going to run back towards the centre of the field, put it on the toe. It's looking like it's going to hit the goal post.
Oh, yes!
It does, but I think he knocked it on.
Oh, well,
So a creative bit of play there from the number 2. It was Flynn Isaacs.
oh, Flinny.
And
He was in
Flynn-
like Flynn nearly for a moment.
He did it. He did it all right. And as soon as that left the boot, it looked from our vantage point that it was going to hit the goalpost. It did that, but he wasn't able to scoop it up, and a bit of a chance gone begging there for the Panthers as the Rams work it out from their own end. And yeah, that was a nifty bit of play from Flinny. He just wasn't able to quite finish it off.
This is probably the hottest part of the day too. We can feel the
it's
sun on our
boiling.
backs at the moment, boiling on this side, and blue sky over behind us. But as you look towards that's I guess the canteen side of the ground, the overcast conditions, and does not look a good sign here at Glen Willow. Of course, don't forget the Charity Shield tonight. If you're in and around the area, I know that tickets have been selling like hotcakes, but come out because it's a great day. And it will be great to watch great rugby league in the
Very
Central
close to
West.
touch on there.
As that's gone
It's
out
too
in the
close.
full.
Out on the full.
On the full jump. Change over.
Change over. The Panthers will have the ball. About 40 metres out from the Rams line. Another chance coming for the Mountain Men.
Panthers really doing well and would like to at least come back
Yeah, they've
from
started.
Mudgee with at least a decent, when I say decent, a tight scoreline, because they are struggling against this Western Rams side, but they've improved a lot in the second half. If they can get a try here, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they've come out. They've come out with a good attitude, and they're going to have another red hot crack here as number 9 ducks out of acting half, and he gets half a gap, and he's going to wind up very close to the Rams try line. He works his way to his feet. He plays the ball, number 17, in there at the dummy half position. Flicks it out to Sublaban, and he's going to take the line on, and he's going to go straight through. Nifty put down, tosses the ball up in the air, and the Panthers, that's 4 points for them, and they needed that.
Mate, that was a fantastic run at the end. He broke the gap, he found the hole, went straight through, scores the try,
Game on.
and game on. It is honestly game on now. They bring the margin to, 6 points now?
8 points. So it'll be,
Yeah, well-
it'll be 16-8. Well, they can bring it to 6.
That's right, because the kick to come as well. So to get the kick, it's virtually game on. It will be a 6 point margin if they get the kick. So 16-8 at the moment. And it is going to be slightly difficult because it's on the right side. It's not as bad as the previous kick, but still a great effort there. And Sub-11, again, he just drifted through, and the Rams just opened that hole up for him. It was just too easy. As the kick to be striked now, let's see if he can get it over.
Yeah, it was a good play, the ball from the Panthers, and once the first receiver, Sub-11, got the ball, he kind of looked destined to score very quickly. He made the right decision to keep the ball in his hands, and he ended up over the line relatively untouched, as we'll see Flynn Isaacs take a kick from the least preferred side for a right foot kicker.
Oh,
that's not going to affect
beautiful.
him at all, and neither will the wind. 16-10.
An old saying, that was straight into hey diddle diddle, because that was so good, and it just went straight through. So another try, another goal. So 6 point margin here, and I really enjoy what's happening here at Glen Willow. The fight back is on for the Panthers. If they can win from behind, it will be Panther-tastic.
Oh, my goodness.
As the Rams
You've been
from
waiting to
halfway.
use that one, haven't
I've
you?
been using it for a long time. I've been calling Panthers games for a long time. If you know who I am, don't bag me too much.
No, give him a break. That was a good one.
Here we
Wow.
go. Penalty here because of the kickoff, because they're offside of the kick, I think.
So preventable, something like
Yeah.
that. So whoever was offside will be definitely copping an earful from the coach after the game. But for now, this Rams team has to focus on repelling the Panthers, which is something they couldn't do last time. And it's looking like it'll be a tap again from number 17.
Let's go.
This is more understandable than some of the previous ones. Very hard to find touch from the centre of the field. And he'll go himself. And he'll land pretty well on that red line that you see there, which is the 40-metre line of the Western Rams.
Go, one.
Number 9 will pass the ball to the 11, Eisenhuth. He'll be brought down after another 10-metre gain. And you'll be thinking when they get to the last tackle, they'll be knocking on the door as the halfback gets it, and he's going to flick it back to X, and he'll pop it up to number 3 there.
This is still 2.
And he'll stay alive and go quite close to the sideline there. It is Mason Diaria. He'll play the ball to Flynn Isaacs. Passes it across to the halfback. Eisenhuth will end up with it again for his second run of the set. He's been busy. tackle number 4 centre field. So they probably haven't gone as forward as they would have liked to in the last couple of tackles, a bit of side to side, but they poked their nose through, and there's a real chance here through the number 19, who on the last tackle will play the ball right on the goal line, about 2 or 3 metres away. The halfback gets it, he goes second man to the number 6. They look to have numbers here. Tuck 6 more, so it's going to be a penalty. So we had a late shoulder charge, so either way, it was going to be Panthers retaining possession, but it came in the way of a penalty. Shoulder charge late. So yeah, a bit of ill discipline on back-to-back occasions, the offside off the kick-off and a shoulder charge for the Rams.
Yeah, but the big thing is now, the Panthers need to utilise the opportunity they have in attack. They're about 10 metres away, and they've got the left-hand side here.
They're over. I'll tell you what, he's got that down, and we're going to be looking at a 16-all ball game in a couple of minutes. They've switched off a bit, the Rams here. Not a bit, let's say entirely they've switched off, and it's about to be all locked up at 16 apiece, provided Flynn Isaacs can put this one through the middle, and the referee is now going to have another yarn with one of these players.
Okay, this will be interesting. He's calling up the captains here. Got to say, great driver. He just barnstormed over, crashed in, and he actually literally crashed into the post. Great try. So you're listening to the referee in charge in Bryce Hoffman.
Okay. Need you to take control of him because I've had enough. Okay. You take control of him at the end of it, right? Yep. Thank you.
So Luke Bain was asked to take control of one of his players. I'm guessing there's someone acting up there, probably the same culprit who committed that late shoulder charge in the last defensive set. But we'll keep an eye on any potential situation unfolding there.
Okay. Try there at the end for the Panthers, and we're about to set a kick. This will be Flynn Isaacs to take the kick. Good try scored at the end for the Panthers. He crashed through the score. Now the kick for goal. This to make it even Stevens. And that is over.
You betcha. 16-all. Well, here we go. This is what we've wanted. We didn't quite get that nail-biter in the first game, but they were obviously just warming us up to this, so this is going to be good.
Being a kid of the 90s, you get used to hearing, if you listen to radio calls, the great Ray Hadley saying, don't touch a sense, don't touch a dial, don't you go anywhere. And I've been in trouble off Ray once for actually saying that. But I will say, don't go anywhere, because this is going to be an absolute beauty. I'm looking forward to the end of this. There's a story to that, I'll tell you later.
That makes 2 of us. I'm keen. Let's get into it. The Panthers, they're going to charge this one back. Pins the ears right back there. Number 5 over there.
Still going.
And he's still got the ball. That's Jeffrey. I haven't called his name too much, but he produces some really good runners. We've got a couple of ball boys on the field still.
They're having fun. It's good to see the ball boys in full cry today on the CRL jerseys, or in the CRL jersey.
They just made their way off the field there, so lucky the play didn't come towards them as the Panthers work their way past their own 40. And they have all the momentum at this point in the match, 16-all. They've scored the last 2 tries in quick succession, and now they'll charge down the right-hand side through the number 4. Pereira, I believe it is. Last tackle, so they're in position where a bomb is probably a viable option. We'll see what they end up doing. Good pick up on the half volley from the number 6. He's been forced to improvise down that short side. They keep it alive, but that's going to be a knock on Penrith from the words of Bryce Hoffman, the referee, and that'll be a changeover, and the Rams off the hook, and they'll probably need to collect themselves a little bit here because they have been under the pump in the last few minutes, haven't they, mate?
Yeah, they have. And again, both sides have really been trying hard. These conditions now getting a little bit cooler here now. We can feel that wind coming from behind us. So coming from the camera side towards that far end of the ground, so we can see what's going to happen here for the Rams. They're inside the half now, and let's see what they can do here to pass it all right.
It's Luke Bain who has the ball. Number 14 out of acting half with the purple headgear on. That'll be Nathan Swain from Orange Sims. These Sims players like the colourful headgears, and he's protesting for a strip, but more often than not, when a player puts their head up without the ball and looks at the referee with his arms out, he's not going to get any joy. And that was the case there for number 6 from the Rams, Harry Blake from the Nyngan Tigers. And that's definitely not what they needed. And the Panthers, they've got a sniff again, and we'll see what they can do. They're looking to take the lead now. 16 points apiece. Bar TV Sports Nick and Jake here, thanks to our major sponsors SLE Worldwide Australia, and also Anytime Fitness and Victor Sports for powering this stream.
Hey, you're doing a fantastic job. First rugby league play-by-play. I know you've caught a couple of gridiron games over the years.
Correct, I have. It's a
What
love
competition?
of mine, American football. Yeah,
What competition?
Gridiron New South Wales.
Oh, the Waratah Bowl.
Yeah, well, I've called. I actually called a state match between New South Wales and South Australia.
Was Ben Lucas playing for New South Wales at the time for the Wolfpack?
Benny Lucas does. He's the defensive captain for the Wolfpack. I was training with him a couple of weeks ago. So if he happens to be listening to
He's
this
a mate
call,
of mine. He's a mate of mine, yeah.
He's a radio bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, I went to afters with him a couple of years ago.
Well, there we go. So we'll save the Ben Lucas chat for later. But Benny, if you're listening, mate, how you going? Panthers have the ball centre field. 25 metres out, and here comes the halfback who's had the ball a lot, and he puts in a short little chip there, but it's fielded by number 5 from the Western Rams, Zarin Galea from Dubbo Sims, and he'll play the ball. It is imperative for the Rams to get through their set here. If they don't, things might boil over for them. So yeah, they're going to need to get to their kick, or best case scenario, crash through and get some points on the board as they go down the short side.
And this is the big telling story for the Western Rams now. They've got to really use the opportunities they've got, because as much as they've been the team on the other end, they need to get back to what they were doing in the early stages of the first half, and that's throw the ball around, find the gaps, and they nearly did. That was a great tackle too by the halfback, but he has to go again. Look at him run. Play was allowed to continue, but now it's fifth.
He's had a great game, Brody Henderson, Panthers halfback. Very inventive player with the ball in hand and showing his defensive abilities there too. Kick goes down to X. And he goes and he pops it up to Flynn Isaacs, and that's inventive stuff from the fullback, and they end up 30 metres out from their own line. And on the front foot, as a quick play, the ball is executed, and they'll get another 10 metres, another big chunk there. So second tackle, and the Panthers are looking good.
Hold. Go, 2. Left side.
As the front rower charges towards the halfway line, it is Braden McGilly. And he's worked over in that play. It was a slow one, but probably one that the Rams needed. But the markers were a bit slow getting back there, and as a result, the acting half from the Panthers has plucked himself 20 metres and an offload to X. Look out. Through the middle, he breaks one tackle, and he can't quite escape the hands of the halfback, but they'll get a penalty. Now, do you take the 2 here? Quick question.
Yeah, I would opt to go for the 2, though.
Let's see. Yeah, and they're going to do it. Right on cue, and it was Brody Henderson who came in and said, we'll take the 2, thanks. And so what's happened here is Henderson said he's wanted to take the 2, and then I think another player's come over and said, hang on, we might have a crack at a try.
No way.
But the ref said it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. So we've got around about 18 minutes elapsed here, or thereabouts. So 35-minute halves in the 18s competition. Actually, here's a tidbit for you. The Jersey Flag comp, which is back now this year, the 20s, for New South Wales Rugby League, it's going to be 35 minutes.
Right.
So from what last year the National Under-20s, the Holden Cup, was a 40-minute affair each way, it's going to be 35 minutes. Yeah. So just like the 18s competitions. By the way,
40 minutes is a long time to be playing 40 either half. You know? Like, I'm not surprised to see a bit of a reduction there.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say Glenn Willows is pumping over there. The music's out, loud.
Yeah. There's a bit happening over there on the main field, and that's going to be rocking. I'm going to say from about 5:30 to 6 p.m. onwards, because there's a curtain raiser between New South Wales, Koori and Queensland Murray, that annual Indigenous fixture, and that's going to be a heated match. And then obviously the Rabbitohs and the Dragons play in the main game. But staying focused on this one, the under-18s, Panthers have a 2-point lead over the Rams, 18-16.
Great kick for goal too. So we come back to halfway, and as we said before, this is going to be an absolute slobber knocker, to use a WWE reference from the Jim Ross collection. I had to use it at some point. Yeah, a slobber knocker. So the last, 15 or so is going to be a beauty. I'm looking forward to it, and the Rams restart things.
Now, can we have a pick from you now, leading into the last 15 minutes? Who are you predicting?
I'm going Panthers.
Panthers to go on with the job. All right, I'll stay on the fence. It's comfy.
You like the
All right,
fence,
I like
don't
the
you?
fence. I don't mind it. I've got enough on my plate here. So it was Jeffrey who just took that one back out. That's his second good return on a kickoff.
Yeah.
He's been good when given the opportunity, but I think it's fair to say the more involved winger has been Flynn Isaacs on this this side that we're on here. He's had a very good game, and he's been very, very good with the boot as well. Goal kicking, of course. Slow play the ball and a bit of extra business after it. He's going to be ordered to go back to the mark, which will slow things down to the Rams' benefit, I would imagine, as the Panthers work their way up close to the 40-metre line. And that's a... So it's a penalty. Right. So the tackle wasn't deemed to be dangerous, but one of the Rams players dropped in with a hand or some part of the arm on the Panthers player's head, and that's I guess a warranted penalty. People, you know, when you're doing that, you've got to be expecting to give penalties away.
And again, much needed, because now the Panthers will be on attack here. And this is where you really need to use X. You need to make sure you got Flynn Isaacs ready in the wing, so to speak. Iaria, he's also another one to look at, and also Jeffrey, and even Sub-11, the 5'8". You use him in open space, and he can score some tries as they go forward once more.
As we've seen, he crashed over in the early stages of the second half, and both halves have been instrumental though for the Panthers. I think. I mean, the halfback there, Brody Henderson, has been excellent as well, as I've mentioned before. And here come the Panthers up 2, looking to build on that lead as Henderson flicks it out to X, and he gives the ball quickly to number 3, who goes very close to the sideline, perhaps a little bit too close. But he'll push it back into the field of play. And it's going to be tackle 1. I believe it's going to be 6 more for the Panthers. So it's 0. So they'll reset things and they'll go again. Number 8 gets the ball here, centre field. It is Braden McGelly, and they may have numbers to the right-hand side if they're interested, but they won't take it there. Instead, number 17 will go through the ruck, and he'll flick it back to the front rower. McGelly again from Sinclair, and he'll play the ball very, very close to the goal line here. Huge moments in this game here as Henderson flicks it out to Sub-11. Number 12 has the ball. He goes dangerously close. He's looking to get the arm free over that far side of the field, but he won't be able to do it. Short side, I believe it's Sub-11 out of acting half.
Good run once more, though.
Yeah, this is
You got Guy
a
already.
huge moment. Guy flicks it back into the hooker, who finds himself in centre field, and the eventual recipient was hit very hard by David White, which really slowed things down a little bit. Last tackle would be a huge stand if the Rams were able to repel them here on this final tackle. As Sub-11 puts the kick in, it may go too deep, and it will. So 7 tackles.
Long pass, no quick pass, long pass.
And they'll work this way back out to the 20-metre line. What are we looking at, about 10 minutes remaining?
Yeah, so roughly about 13 probably.
There we go. So we've got an eternity. We've got an eternity really for a lot of things could happen in the last 13 or so minutes as an offload is sparked by the Rams, and the Orange Sims player that's dangerous, dumped on his head, and hopefully there's no reactions here other than a bit of clapping. But that was clearly a dangerous tackle, and we'll see a penalty and hopefully nothing more.
Smart thing by Glashan, though,
Harry
to pull
Blake
back.
Kicks it over towards us.
I was just going to say, smart thing by Glashan to pull back that play, because he was really wanting to rub salt into the wounds of the Panthers there. But Glashan saying, come on, mate, we can't afford to do this. We don't want to get penalised after getting a penalty for us. So let's see what the Rams can do. They're inside the 35 now. Good defence by the Panthers.
Looking to hit back down to 18-16. And they work their way. A little bobble there, and he paid for it. He got absolutely hammered in the middle of the field. And the Panthers blokes at marker there, they're getting into it. They loved that one. Number 16 takes the ball up. A couple of metre gain there, probably not as many as he would have liked. And I'll tell you what he won't like, a knock on. And there's a bit happening after the play. Hopefully we can get another responsible action from one of the Rams players, pulling the boys aside.
Yeah.
Need Glasheen in there again to settle things down. And the Rams, that's definitely not what they needed. Panthers will have the footy.
That's the thing. They've got to make sure you don't do anything silly, because you can't afford to do anything silly in these situations. So,
absolutely.
Especially in the title rounds, as they call it, the title fight rounds in the last 10 minutes. It is crucial not to make any indiscretions. This game live on the Country Rugby League website, on the Facebook page, and don't forget every game streamed live and full replays on the Country Rugby League Facebook page. After each game, you'll be able to see it in full.
Go, one.
The Panthers have possession across the red stripe there, their own 40-metre line.
Here, boys.
Slowish play the ball to the acting half there, who flicks it out to Henderson, who pops a cutout pass. X will end up with it. He's, I'd say the majority of X's touches are coming in that sweeping role. As we see a Panthers player down injured, we'll identify him as soon as we can.
Someone's saying X is always marking a spot, so to speak.
Here we go. I'll tell you what, you've got some super expressions.
Mate, I've been calling football for 9 years. What do you expect?
I expected this, and you've delivered. So good job. But as I was saying with X, his role seems primarily to come through those set pieces where he ends up getting the ball as a sweeping runner. But I'd like to see him keep the ball. A couple of times he's probably caught the ball running across field a little bit and distributed it probably a bit prematurely. So I would suggest if he puts it under his wing and takes off, he might be able to wreak some havoc, and we'll see if he does that. But regardless, he's been great to watch. Now the player down for the Panthers. Not sure, but he looks all right. Trying to get side of the number.
So he's just making his way back into the field of play now, or back to the side of the centre three quarters.
Iaria?
Yep.
He's all good. He's good to go.
What? 3.
So the Panthers will work it through Eisenhuth. And he avoids a charging number's hand. He gets lifted up in the air, but no danger to the tackle there. He'll play the ball. The acting half gives it to big number 10, Tom Affleck from Lakes. It is the last tackle. Dummy half passes it back to Sub Labin, and he puts this one very high. It's going to be a tough test for Dennis Spathis back there, and he handles it excellently. But the only issue was, I think this might have been this screening that we were talking about. The referee just said you can't change your path, and that's exactly what Nick and I alluded to earlier, in the sense that screens to protect the person who's catching the ball are okay, provided you're not bouncing around too much back there. And he's obviously changed his path, as the referee said, and as a result, the Panthers will have more field position and potentially a chance to put this game to bed with under 10 minutes left.
You're not wrong. This is going to be a pivotal moment, and hopefully they can do something here to Panthers to get this try on the board. 18-16. Here's the kick to the far side. They're going to be about 10 metres away. That's a good...
Yeah, very close.
Good field territory. They're just going to use it.
You could pretty well say the game's on the line here.
Yeah.
I guess it would be largely dependent on a conversion after a possible try. But either way, if the Panthers are able to cross here, it would be massive in the context of this fixture. Slow play the ball now. Very slow. The acting half will pick up the play the ball, and he's going to have a go himself, and he's going to end up very close. And it's going to be a penalty. Marker wasn't square. But in a situation like this, when it's early in the tackle count, a penalty isn't too detrimental to the defensive team. They'll get to take a bit of a breather. Panthers will reset and go again.
Yeah, we've said that a few times, haven't we, where it just helps out the defensive side more so than the attacking side.
It does, and I think maybe the NRL should look into that. But that's a conversation for another day, as Migueli's going to play the ball and they're going to go down the shorter side. It's going to end up in the hands of Gaia, who went to throw a cutout pass, and I think it came off his centre out there. Whether it came off his shoulder or his head, we couldn't tell from here, but the most important piece of information out of that is it's going to be Rams footy, and there's still plenty of time for them to retake the lead that they had throughout the majority of this game.
Yeah, and that's going to be pivotal now here for the remaining 8 minutes or so in this one. CRL coverage, the Laurie Daley Cup for 2018. The inaugural year that both Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley's names will be on these massive prizes, and a great competition, and hopefully we see more of these games. CRL Facebook page, every game is streamed live with commentary of most games, if not every game, and we'll be looking forward to broadcasting a few more of these games as it continues.
Let's go, boys. Quick. Ball in.
So it's going to be Rams footy. And they've got a hard task ahead of them. They're going to go down the short side. It's going to find the hands of Dennis Spathis, who will have a keen eye for a hat-trick in the dying stages because he scored 2 already, one of which was the first try of the game that was a 100-metre intercept effort. Very slow play the ball there, but they're going to get away with that ruck attention. The Panthers bounces off the turf into the hands of one of the Rams players. He was able to save his side there, very close to a turnover, 30 metres out from their own line. Strong contact there, number 10. He goes back to the tackler. He gets an offload away, and Glasheen is through. He's got the fullback to beat. He's going to try X for speed, but it won't be X that comes into the equation. It's going to be number 3, Brock Naden, who made a try saver and potentially a game saver. They're going to go, and they're going to spread it. They're going to spread it quickly. Number 12's hit as soon as he catches the ball, but he's going to flick it out the back. We've got a penalty, and I'm going to ask you again, surely we're seeing a 2-point option coming here for the Rams. Let's see.
Absolutely, and that, again, that was just a terrific effort. That was a great tackle by Iaria.
Harry Blake is urging the decision to be 2 points, but I'm not too sure. Yep, they're going to take it.
Yeah, even things up. Maybe they're thinking, if we can't get the win, let's get the draw and make sure at least we get a point.
Yep. I wouldn't suggest this kick is a gimme. Probably 20 in from touch, I'd say, from where we're sitting. But, you know, you see NRL players miss 20 in from touch goal kicks often. So we'll see if they're able to knock this one over and square the ledger at 18 apiece. We might see some field goal action happening down the stretch.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be exciting?
I love when field goals happen.
I love a field goal-a-thon. You get about 7 or 8 that don't go near, but it's always entertaining.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But obviously they'll have to punch this one over first.
10 metres from it. Back a bit further, you. Back a bit further.
So, what, 20 or 19 metres away. This is a good kick. If he gets it over, this is what they really needed. Here's a strike.
Hard for us to tell. It's good. All good. 18 apiece.
So, how many minutes to go on this one? We've got... Okay, so just having a look here at the screen, and we've got here, according to the clock we're just seeing, about 9 minutes. So I have been running a clock that's been continuous, so I do apologise. So we don't have the vision in front of us, so to speak. So we'll keep you abreast on what's happening here. As here's the restart.
So let's say about 8 or 9 minutes of a 70-minute fixture. And it is 18 apiece now, as the Rams will have the ball. After they just lock things up, it's Harry Blake from the Ningan Tigers. He'll play it to the acting half. The referee's chirping a lot here, trying to make sure these Panthers guys don't give anything away, but don't worry about that because David White is right through the middle. This would be sensational if he was able to get there, but he'll be wrangled down by Gaia. He's going to hold him down for as long as he can, but I think the damage might have been done. It'll go out to the left. Number 7 gets the ball. He flicks it on to the number 12. There's an opportunity down this left-hand side. They're trying to keep it alive, but the Panthers are doing a good job of controlling things, and they really need to regroup and quickly here to make sure the Rams don't crash over. It's going to go to the halfback who shows it on the inside. He goes back to the number 10, David White, who just had that gigantic bust where he showed some pretty good acceleration.
Yeah.
Where he was towed down in the end. 5th tackle, show to the right. Number 19's going to go. He's got space. Does he have enough space? No. Changeover. And from where we were sitting, it looked like he might have got over the line.
Great defence.
He's playing the ball thinking they've got another one up their sleeve, but they don't. Instead, the Panthers will have the ball right, pretty much backed up on their own try line. So we'll see what they can do here.
Superb defence. And now Gaia will ruck the ball out. And here we go. What a game we've got here at Glen Willow, the number 2 ground. And hold on to your hats here. It's a 2-point margin, 18-16. But the Panthers, they are really running hot now.
We'll see what they can do in terms of getting out of their own end. Number 9, he'll do that, and it was off the chest. The offload to Flynn Isaacs. It might have been a shut-the-gate situation if he caught that, but instead, the Rams will get the ball back in good field position. It's interesting to see a team sitting on a 2-point lead with, 7 or 8 minutes to go chance their arm like that. It's easy to say from a hindsight standpoint, but it's always a bit dubious when a side in that position does chance their arm like what they've just done and they've given field possession back. I'll correct myself, not a 2-point lead. Well, we're looking at a, despite the fact that the scoreboard's got us set at 18-16,
Yeah.
it is in fact 18 all.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, my apologies. Yes, yeah, we had that goal from the Rams. Yes.
So everybody listening, the scoreboard obviously says 18-16,
Yep.
but it is in fact 18 apiece
Yeah.
after the penalty goal. So it's locked up here, and it's going to be a knock-on at the scrum. And you don't see that very often. Number 19 was attempting to pluck the ball out of the sticks in there, and he coughed it up. So it's going to be a scrum to the other team.
Yes.
And 18 all. So we'll see.
And the scrum's not even... Well, look at it here. If you look at the scrum, he's got his knees nearly down. Now it's fine. Scrum's packed, and here we go.
It's often a messy situation in rugby league scrum.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, everyone knows that. Flynn Isaacs has the ball. And now we're hearing the siren.
So the siren goes here.
So this game's over, and it's going to be 18 apiece.
So it's an 18-all draw here. Okay, well, see, I had that roughly around about, that's it, 35 minutes. So it's a continuous clock
So it
in
turns
these
out-
games.
It turns out Nick's timekeeping was the one to keep an eye on, because the live stream has it running at 64-ish minutes.
That's all right. So we don't, of course, with these games, we don't actually have time called out. So when the referee calls stop the play, time is not called out, but still a fantastic game and a great game. 18-all draw. Both sides will be happy with it. I hope you've enjoyed the Facebook stream. And, yeah, we have here full-time results in this one.
Thanks, boys. Well done.
So well done in this one for both sides, and I hope you've enjoyed this game. Nicholas Kutniak and Jake Humphreys with you, and we have got the siren here. Just having a look here at our piece. Yes, it's got 70 minutes coming up now, so I think the stream we're looking at may have been just slightly delayed.
So we've committed a blunder there, guys. It actually has turned out the full time is 18 on. I guess the stream that we were watching on our end was slightly behind. Not sure why that's happened. So the people at home must have been thinking, what are these guys watching? But you know what? We got a great game out of it, and
That's all right.
apologies for that mistake. It does happen, and it's a bit harder sometimes when you're sitting on the back of a truck at Glen Willow.
No, it's great though. I love country rugby league, and yeah, we may have made one of the best mistakes.
Yeah,
in the world.
we made a pretty big blunder there, and I'm sure the
We
people
got
commenting.
to remember it
give
is
us a bit
funny
for
when you look on the internet, and you know it depends on various speeds, and we're probably looking at one stream and audio at the time, and that doesn't matter. But it's full time anyway. An 18-all draw and a fantastic game we've witnessed. Your final thoughts on the day?
Well, I thought both games were good. I thought the first game at 24-4 that the Panthers lost was a good game, and I thought they showed a lot of heart while the Rams were clinical. And that last game was a screamer. It was great. And the Panthers did such a good job of turning things around and eventually fighting their way to an 18-all draw. A game they, I guess, really got away from the Rams. But, you know, looking back on those two fixtures, two great games. And yeah, good day of footy.
So that's both games done and dusted. I hope you've enjoyed the action. Hopefully we'll be back soon to cover more games in the CRL Country Rugby League Championships. Once again, Bar TV, fantastic job with the vision and the stream. Again, we talk about Anytime Fitness. They do a fantastic job. Victor Sports and the major sponsor in this competition, the SLE Worldwide Australia. Nicholas Kutniak and Jake Humphrey signing off here from Glen Willow, full time. And it's an 18-all draw in the Laurie Daley Cup.